You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. The weekend review. Boy, oh boy. I hope y'all ready, man. Boys and girls, ladies and lads, brethren and sistren, hermanos mi hermanas, partners and pals, ladies and gents, men and women, prince and princesses, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. When you're born ready, you ain't got to get ready. You feel me, dub? And you know we ready, man. We ready for this smoke because we about to get some smoke this morning because people going to be mad at me. But I figure, hey, man, you know, if Ryan Garcia could be treated as a hero, then, hey, there's no better role than to play the villain. Because if a racist, cheating, ignorant, incompetent, mediocre boxer is a hero, then I think that it's appropriate that we all become a villain. I think that it might be the righteous thing to do to be the villain, you know. So, I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. But we here today, man. Shout out to my guy Dub McCullough in the building. Yes, sir. We got my boy Let's Be Real. That's the only way to be in the building. We got Everything by John in the building. Let's get right. The doctor's in the building. Amen. You know I'm here, baby. God is good. As long as God bless me with a day to breathe, I'm going to be here on the stream talking this boxing stuff, bringing the truth back to boxing, bringing the real. I don't know. I ain't going to say the real back to boxing. I don't know if the real was over there, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to bring the real to boxing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep facts over feelings, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to Inoue, man. Inoue did his thing. But before we get to that, man, let's go ahead and say our prayers. So please join me in prayer. Bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for waking us up on this Monday morning. Thank you for letting us enjoy this weekend. Hopefully we got through it safely. And hopefully we continue through this weekend with your protection, with your direction, and with your correction when we make mistakes. We ask you to forgive us for all of our sins, and let us just be kind to one another, Lord, even when it's difficult. And if we can't be kind, then just be quiet. And that's very difficult too, because some of us are confrontational by nature. Some of us are loquacious by nature. Some of us are less tolerant of nonsense by nature. But please let us go against our nature and go to do the right thing and live to be in your image, and put our ego and our pride aside when appropriate. So we thank you for your love. We thank you for your glory. We thank you for your blessings. And we ask for continuous forgiveness of our sins and prosperity and peace for us all. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. We got my boy Ryan Frazier, Boxing Talk Up North, Big North in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Big North, man. Shout out to my guy, Ryan Frazier, man. He just signed a deal. My boy out here signing deals, y'all. That's big money in the chat. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my boy, Ryan Frazier, man. Hit him with a follow, man. Very dope dude, dope content creator. But like I said, overall, more importantly, he's a dope person, man. I rock with that dude, man. I can't wait to meet him one of these days, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to travel up to Canada, you know what I'm saying? I got to ask, I got to ask Drake for permission, you know what I'm saying? Because, I ain't Kendrick. I'm not Kendrick Lamar, bro. Don't shoot me. Shout out to my guy, Ryan Frazier. Yes, sir, man. We got pugilism in the building. What's good? Don't shoot me, man. Don't shoot me, bro. Don't shoot me. But yeah, man, before we get to all the talk, I want to give y'all the update. I was pretty shocked when I saw this myself. Let me sip some of my tea. I was rather shocked, man. MJ, as in MJ Akhmadaliev, is fighting May 30th. Yes, MJ Akhmadaliev, the same MJ Akhmadaliev that is going to fight NAOYA Inoue in September. Good Lord willing, they already signed and finalized that deal finally, because he's the only guy that deserved a shot at Inoue for the last year and a half. Or not the only guy, but he's the most deserving, MJ Akhmadaliev. But he's having a fight in the interim. He's fighting May 30th at the end of this month. He's fighting a guy named Castillo. And I'm just thinking, man, that boy better not lose. You come this close to your dream, boy. I think this is a very dangerous fight. However, I think it's good because last time we saw him, he won the interim championship by beating, who'd he beat? Oh, man, Castro, right? Or no, Espinosa. Let me look it up real quick. I can't remember. Let me see. MJ, because I remember he fought in Monte Carlo. And Khalil and C4 was on that card. Yeah, Espinosa. Yeah, Ricardo Espinosa. So that was a good win, But he's gonna fight against Castillo on May 30th. So I'm looking forward to that fight. It's gonna keep him active. That fight was last year in December against Ricardo Espinosa. So I think it is important that he gets a tune-up, or not a tune-up, but a stay busy fight. But like I said, man, you just never know. I mean, look at NAOYA Inoue. He just fought a guy that they called a lift driver, right? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're giving Inoue credit for beating the same lift driver, right? Because he got knocked down, right? We gonna talk about it. Like I said, I'm about to put on that villain hat. I'm about to put on, I don't be on that type of diamond because I be trying to be a righteous warrior, thank God, all day. I'd rather be an angel than a demon. But we about to be on demon time, you know what I'm talking about? Demon time. You feel me? Cause y'all be wilding out there, man. I'm seeing all this praise and I'm seeing all this congratulations and congratulatory statements and all this stuff. I'm so impressed. What are we talking about, man? Who is Ramon Cardenas, man? We go in the middle of the mall, you ask somebody who is Ramon Cardenas, they're only going to respond like this.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it right now. Respect to all the fighters, indeed. I said Ramon Cardenas is going to be good. I think he's going to fight with heart, which he did. He demonstrated a lot of heart, fighting spirit, a warrior spirit, but the case still remains, the fact still remains the same that we did not know him. When I say we, I mean you. I knew him. I saw his last fight on Pro Box. He's a tough fighter. That's why I expected him to be tough. I knew he was going to come in. But what did I say, though, chat? I had NAOYA Inoue in 8, and it ended in 8. I'm not saying I'm prognosticator P, but your boy pretty good. You know what I'm talking about? And that was just a lucky one, man. You know what I'm saying? That was just a lucky pick, but I did predict that. But what's funny is that I give him all the credit in the world because it was a great fight. And it was a great fight during a lackluster weekend, right, as far as performances go, right? Because let's face it, man, as much hype and anticipation was built for the Friday card with Ryan Garcia versus Rolly, Devin Haney versus Ramirez, and Teofimo versus Barbosa, it fell short of all of our expectations. It was lackluster at best, right? Teofimo did his thing, but even his performance wasn't all that, but it was good relative to the other people that were on the card. And I thought that he won in a dominant fashion. Shout out to him. And Barbosa, to me, he didn't show any effort. So that started off the night with Golden Boy going 0-1, right? And then they followed it up with Devin Haney and Ramirez. Devin Haney, I know people don't like this word, but Devin Haney was dominant. I didn't say Devin Haney was exciting. I didn't say Devin Haney's fight was intriguing. I didn't say Devin Haney's fight was interesting. I didn't say Devin Haney's fight was all that, but he was dominant. Dominant and exciting are not synonyms. Those words are not synonymous. Devin Haney won on my scorecard 11 rounds to 1. A lot of people had Devin Haney washing him 12 rounds to 0. The worst card that I saw, whether you like Devin Haney or not, if you're honest and objective, was 10 rounds to 2 in favor of Devin Haney. That's dominant. I don't know what y'all think these words mean, man. I don't know if you're lacking basic comprehension or what. Dominant means that you successfully and convincingly beat your opponent, handle the situation. There's no way, I don't care how much of a Devin Haney you are. There's no, I don't care how much of a Devin Haney hater you are or a Devin Haney lover or whatever it is. There's no way you can objectively say that Devin Haney lost that fight or is even in jeopardy of losing that fight. That's dominant. You could be dominant and boring. I'm just saying. You could be the best physicist in the world. That doesn't make physics exciting because you're good at it. Right? But that doesn't mean you're any less dominant in your field. So it's up to you to determine what excitement is. I thought the fight was terrible. Obviously, I thought it was boring. I did not like it. But Devin Haney's convincingly, emphatically won. Maybe not emphatically. I'm reaching with the emphatically, but you know what I'm saying, as far as the scorecards go. So that's just is what it is, man. So Devin Haney beat Jose Carlos Ramirez, a former Olympian, former unified champion. So now Golden Boy goes down 0-2. That's why Oscar's mad. And then we go to the superhero Ryan. Like I said, if you call it Ryan the superhero, it's only right that I be a villain, man. So you have Ryan coming through like Batman, right? And I guess he forgot his gadgets. What were some of his gadgets? I'm so glad you asked me what some of his gadgets were. Ostarine.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
Yeah, I said it. Yes, I said it. It was only fitting that he came in as Batman. He looked like Batman without the gadgets. Ain't nobody scared of Bruce Wayne. We worried about the, maybe the Batmobile that Ryan pulled up in. He thought he could bring it in the ring or something. Maybe we might be scared of the utility belt. Maybe we might be scared of the little bat, the bat throwing the batmarang, right? The boomerang, whatever you call it, the batarang, whatever it's called. We might be scared of the grappler. We might be scared of the bat signal, but we ain't scared of Bruce Wayne. Ain't nobody scared of Bruce. In fact, we don't even know Bruce Wayne could fight. We don't even know Bruce Wayne is Batman. You feel me? And that's what Ryan Garcia looked like. He looked like Bruce Wayne. Matter of fact, more appropriately, he looked like Steve Rogers. You know what I'm saying? And he forgot that Nandrolone, that Ostarine, that super soldier serum. You know what I'm saying? He looked like Steve Rogers. What's Captain America without the super soldier serum? He's Steve Rogers. That's what Ryan Garcia looked like. Ryan Garcia looked like he was missing the the man ain't have his medications, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have his external sources of power, man. So it's so crazy because we gave a hero's welcome to a mediocre drug cheat. Clowns. We gave a hero's welcome to a mediocre drug cheat, a pedestrian drug cheat. That's what we gave a hero's welcome to. We didn't give a hero's welcome to Jose Carlos Ramirez, who's a former Olympian and former unified champion. We didn't give a hero's welcome to who I don't like Teofimo either, but he's more accomplished in boxing. We didn't give a hero's welcome to the lineal former unified and current WBO champion at 140, Teofimo Lopez, who, by the way, was fighting in his hometown. We didn't give him a hero's welcome. We didn't give a hero's welcome to Arnold Barbosa, who's been a mandatory for like 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? Chasing the champion Arnold Barbosa and earned his position through merit. We didn't give him a hero's welcome. We definitely didn't give Devin Haney a hero's welcome, who's the youngest undisputed male champion in the 4-belt era ever. We definitely didn't give him a hero's welcome, the guy who got victimized and cheated. We definitely didn't give Rolly Romero, who's a former two-time two-division champion. We didn't give him a hero's welcome. But we gave a hero's welcome to the guy who's the least accomplished on the card. The guy who never been a champion. The guy who got dropped by Luke Campbell. The guy who quit against Tank. The guy who lost to Rolly Romero. The guy who cheated against Devin Haney. That's who we gave a hero's welcome to.
You dumbass.
I mean, don't get mad at me, bro. I'm just speaking the facts. Tell me where I lied at. If you get out your feelings and you listen to me, what part did I lie at? Tell me the false. Tell me the falsity that I said. You can't. You might be mad. You might be punching the air right now, but tell me the part that I lied about. You can't. Facts over feelings, baby. That's what we gave the heroes welcome to. And what happened to the hero? The hero got put down. He might have been Batman. Well, gosh dang, Rolly Romero was Bane. And that was the knee that broke the bat's back. Bow. In the second round. Bow. Put him down. Left hook. The irony, bro, I'm telling you, bro. The irony that he got dropped by a left hook. I thought that was his best move. I thought Ryan Garcia, I thought he invented the left hook. That's how we were acting. Shout out to my guy Oscar, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. My boy came through and said, yes, Erskine. Yes, sir. My brother, mi hermano Carnal in the building. Big Oscar in the building. Yes, sir, man. Liberace in the building. What's good, brethren? They keep saying 1 year layoff instead of 1 year suspension. Talk to them, Dub. They keep, you see, they're playing with these words, man. 1 year layoff instead of 1 year suspension. And guess who had a 1 year layoff as well? Devin Haney. We ain't seen Devin Haney in a year. Matter of fact, you know who was on the card the next day? Badu Jack. Badu Jack is 41 years old, and we ain't seen him about 2 years. He won. He had no problem winning. So Ryan Garcia is because of the layoff. It's because of the environment. It's because of his mind, his mentality. You want to talk about mental problems? You want to talk about being in depression? Try being the guy that they made a meme out of for being cheated and thrown under the bus and made fun of consistently, constantly, frequently, habitually, continuously. They still making fun of him now. Let's talk about his mental state. You don't care about that, though. You don't care about being empathetic for that, but you want to be empathetic towards a criminal. Freak out of here, man. Shout out to Rolly, man. He Peter Parker without the spider bite. Facts. Peter Parker without the spider bite, man. So shout out to Rollies, man. Rolly did his thing, but even still, Rolly is the more. I'm not saying, okay, I'm not oblivious, right? Shout out to my guy Candy Slim 501. He said all facts, Doc. Thank you, brother. Welcome, man. Good to see you here, brother. Big member in the building, man. Batman got beat by, yeah. Rolly Robin Romero. Yeah, Rolly Robin you Romero. Facts. All facts, Doc. That hero's welcome bullshit. Thank you, bro. T Rolly and 5. That's a fact. And that's the thing. I'm not mad at anybody picking Ryan Garcia over Rolly, right? Because let's face it, right? Ryan Garcia, even though he cheated, our optics are still sticking with us. That imagery is still in our head of what he did to Devin Haney. And that's cool. We're human, right? We can't erase what we saw. However, that's part of being an adult and showing maturation and being able to be a critical thinker and think for yourself instead of regurgitating what you're hearing from some of your favorite content creators. Be able to think individually and control your own thoughts. There's no way that you could associate that performance, no matter how good and dominant it may seem, without PEDs. His best performance is directly associated with performance enhancing drugs. That means something. And then especially when your next performance, you lose, you get mollywopped, you get your top blocked off. You got your top blocked off. You get your block knocked off, your top removed. You see what I'm saying? In convincing fashion, and you're not on PEDs. That means something, especially when you go to the fight before that against Oscar Duarte and he accused you of being on PEDs. Let's talk about the history of Ryan Garcia. He fought Gervonta Tank Davis. What did Gervonta Tank Davis tell him before the fight? Those of you that keep up with boxing, you know. Gervonta Tank Davis told Ryan Garcia, and I quote, "You better not be on that shit when we fight." What do you think that shit is referring to? PEDs, genius. So Gervonta Tank Davis warned Ryan Garcia not to be on PEDs when they fought.
Yeah.
When his next fight, after he lost to Gervonta Tank Davis, he fought Oscar Duarte. Oscar Duarte alleged, check my verbiage. I didn't say he proved. I said he alleged, meaning he had allegations of using PEDs.
Yeah.
And then after that, he fought Devin Haney, and he actually got caught using PEDs.
Yeah.
And then after that, he fought Rolly Romero with no PEDs, and he lost.
Yeah.
What does that mean, chat? What does that mean? That means the guy that you're praising as a hero, he might actually not be a hero and closer to a zero, aka meaning he's trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I'll be the villain, baby. I'll be the villain. I could take it, man. We get the hustle off the muscle, man. Come on. I'll be the villain, bro. I'm gonna tell you this truth. You're gonna get this truth. You gonna get this truth. He missed weight at 140 against Oscar Duarte. Am I lying? Nope. He missed weight against Oscar Duarte.
Yeah.
He missed weight against Devin Haney.
Yeah.
He gets popped dirty for using PEDs against Devin Haney.
Yeah.
He comes back clean and he loses to Rolly Romero.
Know your fucking place, trash.
That's the timeline of your hero. That's the timeline of Batman. Isn't it funny that he chose Batman, the hero that wears a mask? Boy, think about it, chat. If you're a hero and you're doing good things, why you gotta conceal your identity? Nah, I'm just joking. You know, you gotta protect your loved ones and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Spider-Man and all that stuff. You know, Iron Man. You know, you gotta wear a mask, conceal your identity. I get it. But for the sake of my argument, if you're really doing good things, if you're really altruistic and you're for the people, what's wrong with the people knowing what you're doing? He came in as a character that wears a mask, and his whole entire career is a front. Damn, you can't make this up. I can't make this up. Monticello in the building. What's good? I can't make this up, bro. This is all facts. This is all facts, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Y'all a bunch of clowns, man. Call it for what it is, bro. It shouldn't have taken Rolly to beat Ryan Garcia for y'all to see what he was, man. I'm not saying he's a trash fighter. I know I put the trash animation just because it's funny, but he's not a trash fighter. He's a decent fighter. I would even go as far as to say that he's good. But what does all he have? A left hook. You know what's so funny about Ramon Cardenas? We watched Ramon Cardenas, a lot of you, for the first time yesterday, right? Against NAOYA Inoue. What did I say when I was watching him fight NAOYA Inoue? I said, man, you gotta adapt. You gotta do more than just that hook, because NAOYA Inoue, who's a good fighter, he's gonna adapt, and he definitely demonstrated his adaptation, and he's gonna start timing your hook. What do we say about Ryan Garcia? All he has is a hook. Oh, okay. We critique Cardenas. I could critique him in real time. But Ryan Garcia, all he had is a hook his whole career. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry. All he had is a hook, but he also has his followers on Instagram, because apparently that's important. And speaking of that, man, shout out to Cardenas, man. We about to move forward to Cardenas, man. I want y'all to hear what Cardenas said. I'm not gonna play the whole interview. Shout out to my guy Candy Slim 501, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
He said the commentary and BS narratives are worse than the fight. Facts. All they were doing, bro, I don't even listen to it, so I can't even, I know what you're saying because I went back and watched it and I saw some highlights and stuff like that. I didn't watch the whole fights in their entirety, but I hear some of the commentary and I hear the commentators before. I already know that they're trash. That's why it's such a blessing that I provide my own commentary and I don't listen to them, because I'd just be mad. Like my boy Candy Slim said, every single one of those DAZN commentators are just spewing nothing but BS. And you know what BS stands for?
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit!
He need the prescriptions to flex. I'm not going. Talk to him, Liberace. But check this out, man. Cardenas, I suggest people watch this interview by Cardenas. Shout out to Fight Hub, man. They pulled up on us the other day. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to check out this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's a 6-minute interview, but he talks about having merit in boxing. He talks about people disrespecting him and stuff like that. And he talks about, most importantly, he said, boxing is not about how many followers you have. Who do you think he was taking a shot at? I'm just saying. He said, boxing is not about how many followers you have on Instagram, how many likes you garner on Twitter. He didn't say it that in verbatim, but he definitely said it's not about how many followers you have on social media. He said boxing is about heart, which is what he displayed, and I agree. Ramon Cardenas made a fan out of me. I was already a fan from the times I saw him on Pro Box. I saw him twice on Pro Box already, but now I'm even a bigger fan, man. And you know what he said in this interview as well? He also said that he didn't feel the one-punch power in NAOYA Inoue. Bitch, please. No, but I believe him because, like I said, he's a tough fighter, but most importantly, he seems like a very intelligent individual, man. He broke it down. He didn't just say I didn't feel his power. He said Inoue's punches are more overwhelming. It's not just like a one-punch thing. He said he's good at overwhelming you and making every punch count. He said it wasn't like a one-punch power like a Gervonta Tank Davis or something like that, but his punches are overwhelming, and he overwhelms you with accurate, timely punches. So shout out to him, man. So he said he didn't feel the one-punch power, but he said he was very good at overwhelming him with punches. And then he also said that the ref, He was mad at the stoppage. And if I went back and watched the replay, he did have his faculties though, man. He was ducking and dodging. A lot of those punches, that flurry that NAOYA Inoue threw, a lot of those punches missed, man. Go back and watch it, especially if you watch it in slow motion. Go watch it when it got stopped. And that was what, referee Thomas Taylor. However, I'm gonna defend Thomas Taylor right now because NAOYA Inoue knows this, and Ramon Cardenas should know this, or his trainer Joel Diaz should know this. Shingo Inoue, who's NAOYA Inoue's trainer, he knows this. Everybody that watches boxing, for the most part, even at a casual level, knows this. If you're the A side and you get the guy in trouble and you just throw a flurry of punches, it could be shoe shining. It doesn't matter. You could be missing, but as long as it looks like it's doing something, the referee's going to be more prone to stop it. That's why it's imperative that you throw punches back. You don't look like you're being overwhelmed, because while he said that he didn't feel the one punch power NAOYA Inoue, he did say that it was overwhelming. And what did it look like? The optics looked like he was getting overwhelmed at that moment. So I'm not mad at Thomas Taylor, and I thought he said something very important too. The referee told him something that I always say. I say sometimes it's not good enough to just protect the fighter from their opponent. Sometimes your trainer and your team, especially the referee, is there to save you from yourself. And Ramon Cardenas quoted in this interview a gladiator quote saying that death comes for us all, and when death smiles at you, only a few smile back. And he said he loves that. He said that he was ready to go out on his shield last night. Thank God it didn't come to that. And a big reason why it didn't come to that is because the referee stepped in. So I'm not mad at the referee, even though it might have been a bad stoppage. You got to understand our vantage point is through a lens. The referee is in there real time. So even if the punches are missing, you might still hear this. What's that sound? It sounds like somebody's getting hit, right? Even if he's catching them and he's blocking them, it's not landing on his flush on his chin or landing on his head. You still hear this. Pause. That sounds crazy. Like nothing sexual, man. You still hear this. You still hear the thuds of the punches, whether it's landing on your shoulder, whether it's landing on your neck, whether it's landing on your torso, your arm, the glove. You still hear that. And then you see somebody punching and you see somebody else not punching back. We might have a different angle, and we have the opportunity and we have the advantage of having slow-mo, rewind, all that stuff. The referee's in there in real time, and it looked like Ramon Cardenas was getting them paws put on him. So I'm not mad at Thomas Taylor. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Ramon Cardenas. He didn't blame Thomas Taylor either. He said, man, you know, I felt like I was okay, but he said the referee said I have to save you for yourself, and he said I appreciate that. But I really like Ramon Cardenas, man. Shout out to Ramon Cardenas. But I want y'all to listen to what he said right here at the end. Check this out. Check this out.
Well, thank you for saving the Cinco de Mayo weekend. You and Inoue put on a hell of a freaking fight, man. Thank you.
I also, one last thing before you go, is I know the whole me being a Lyft driver and this and that. I'm a hell of a tough Lyft fucking driver, I'll tell you that.
You heard what he said?
I know.
You already said?
You and Inoue put on a hell of a freaking fight, man. Thank you.
I also, one last thing before you go, is I know the whole me being a Lyft driver and this and that. I'm a hell of a tough Lyft fucking driver, I'll tell you that.
He said he hears about the narrative about people calling him a Lyft driver. He says, I'm one heck of a Lyft driver. I'm a tough Lyft driver. So I want y'all to just remember that, right? Remember that they called him a Lyft driver. You know who else they called outside of their name and called them by their occupation? This guy's opponent. This guy's opponent. And look who said this. Shakur Stevenson said, who is Inoue fighting? And I know people are going to talk trash. Who is Inoue fighting? You just fought Josh Padley. But what did they call Josh Padley? They called him an electrician. Right? Am I lying, chat? Tell me where the lie is. They called Josh Padley an electrician. They called Ramon Cardenas a Lyft driver. That's cool, right? That's cool. Call him a Lyft driver. But the question for me is this. Yes, NAOYA Inoue had the best fight this weekend, of course, because it was very contentious. It was surprisingly contentious. It was actually exciting, and they actually both came to fight. Salute to both of them. But that was not supposed to happen. Cardenas was not supposed to drop NAOYA Inoue. You know why? Because he was a Lyft driver. I can't make this up, bro. NAOYA Inoue, literally, not figuratively. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm not speaking, you know, a hyperbole here, you know, hyperbolic, you know, that's everybody's favorite word and stuff. You know, I'm not speaking in hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being facetious. He literally had the worst opponent this weekend. Am I lying? 2 cents, am I lying? 2 cents, am I lying? Oscar, am I lying? Monticello, am I lying? Who else in the chat? Mike Mazik in the building. Am I lying? Shout out to Mike Mazik in the building. Shout out to 2 cents in the building. Hey man, y'all go check out 2 Cents Boxing, man. Check out 2 Cents Boxing. I can't speak. Check out 2 Cents Boxing, man. Definitely one of the homies right there, man. Her channel is awesome. They always have great discussion, and she's funny as hell, man. She be keeping it real, man. Hey, she gonna tell you how she feel, man. One time for the ladies in boxing that participate, one time for the ladies in boxing that have conversations about it, and one time for the ladies of boxing that keep it real. Shout out to 2 Cents, man. I'm asking though. Can somebody answer me the question? I ain't see nobody answer yet. We quiet right now. Did NAOYA Inoue not have the worst opponent this weekend? I'm waiting, chat. 2 Cents said facts. Thank you, 2 Cents. NAOYA Inoue literally had the worst opponent this weekend, and he got dropped. Devin Haney, you could say that fight was boring. Cool. If you don't like Devin Haney, you don't, whatever it is, I don't care. Devin Haney fought a former Olympian and a former unified champion. Teofimo fought Arnold Barbosa, #1 ranked mandatory, who just got off of beating Jack Catterall, El Gato, the cat. Rolly Romero is a 2-time, now 3-time champ. If you don't want to count regular belts, that's cool, you know. But if you don't count regular belts, then you cannot say that one of my favorite boxers, Manny Pacquiao, is an 8-division champion, because a few of those belts that Manny Pacquiao won in his 8-division title run, some of them were interim and regular belts. So I call him an 8-division champion, but I also extend the same courtesy to Rolly Romero and call him a 3-division champion because he's a regular belt champion. I don't really care about that stuff too much. Sometimes it's appropriate to make that distinction, but a lot of times it's not. People just being buttholes and being petty. You know what I'm saying? So Rolly Romero is a former 2-division champion. That was Ryan Garcia's opponent, right? What about Saul Canelo Alvarez? Saul Canelo Alvarez, that fight was terrible. You know, Canelo's my favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? Him, Tank, and Junto Nakatani. Canelo's fight was garbage. But you know who he fought? He fought William Scull, undefeated champion for the IBF in his division. Who the heck is Ramon Cardenas once again? He's a Lyft driver. And there's no disrespect. It just is what it is. He put on a hell of a show. But that fight was impressive because he knocked down Inoue. That's why it was impressive. The fight was exciting because Ramon Cardenas exceeded our expectations, not because NAOYA Inoue did something spectacular. He's supposed to do that. Can you? I want to ask y'all this. I want to ask y'all a question, man. Who is ranked number 1, 2, and 3 pound for pound right now, in any order? For me, to me, it's obviously and clear that it's Terrence Bud Crawford, Alexander Usyk, and NAOYA Inoue. Whatever, they're all interchangeable because you know what they all hold? The phenomenal distinction of being undisputed in 2 different weight classes and remaining undefeated while doing it. Now I want you to play this game with me. I would like to play a game like Saw. You know, it ain't gonna get scary like that, but it's getting a little scary. You know, I'm on that demon time. 2 Cents said, Dr. Boxing Talk, you got to click that link when you come through. Need some common sense. All right, bet. I appreciate the invitation. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to join your panel. You know what I'm saying? I would love it. I love talking with you. Like I said, I really mean that. You be holding it down. Like I love the different types of conversations. I love the fact that you put down, you lay the foundation and you stand on it, man. It's like sometimes it's just about being logical and more than being right, you know. And I feel like you're very logical, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So and shout out to Just Do. Just Do's also very logical. Like it's not even about agreeing all the time. It's just about, you know, having an honest thought process and not just being overly biased to the point you're not making sense. You know what I'm talking about? So shout out to 2 Cents, man. Go check her out, man. Dope channel. Inoue fought a Subway employee. Japanese don't get foot longs. That's crazy. I ain't gonna say all that now. Inoue is a beast. Inoue took chances to make an entertaining fight. I'm not trying to hear that, Keenan. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Shout out to, like I said, shout out to Inoue. He's top 1, 2, or 3 pound for pound. So let's continue to play my game. Shout out to Keenan though. Let's continue to play my game, please, for a little bit. Entertain me. Can you imagine? I want you to imagine for a second, you know, please go in your head right now. Take this walk with me, right? Close your eyes if you have to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever helps spark your imagination. Take this walk with me. Inoue has fought Ramon Cardenas his last fight literally yesterday. Before that, he fought Yi Jun Kim, the Korean fighter, South Korean, I believe specifically, who lost multiple times. Cardenas had one L. He's not undefeated either. Because sometimes we say that, oh, these guys have to be undefeated in order to be respected, right? So none of his opponents have been undefeated. Then he fought an old TJ Doheny who had 4 losses. Now Inoue was his 5th loss. TJ Doheny was 38 years old. His fight before that was against Louis Neary. Louis Neary got stopped by Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa got beat up by Stephen Fulton. We saw what NAOYA Inoue did to Stephen Fulton. So he fought the guy that lost to he fought the guy that got stopped by the guy that lost to the guy that he knocked out. Yeah, I know that was a lot, but just keep up, right? So now I want you to take Ramon Cardenas. I want you to now take TJ Doheny. I want you to now take Louis Neary, and I want you to also take Yi Jun Kim, and I want you to transfer their powers to a guy at the 147-pound division at welterweight and make them Terrence Bud Crawford's opponent. What do you think the narrative would be? Then I want you to take those same people and transfer their powers like the Monstars to the heavyweight division and make them Usyk's opponents. What would you think the narrative would be? Are those good opponents, Keenan? Are those good opponents, Monticello? Are those good opponents, 2 Cents? I'm just asking. If we take the same caliber opponents that Naoya Inoue's fighting, and make them Terrence Crawford. Matter of fact, forget Terrence Crawford, forget Usyk. Make them Canelo's opponents. Make them Gervonta Tank Davis's opponents. What would be the narrative? Would we be happy, or would we say, oh, he got exposed because he got knocked down twice by a guy who got knocked out by Brandon Figueroa and Louis Neary, by a guy we never heard of coming off a pro box? Oh, by the way, he's a Lyft driver. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I'm asking. Honestly, I'm asking. Imagine if Terrence Crawford or Gervonta Tank Davis or Canelo Alvarez or Usyk got knocked down by a 38-year-old guy who had 4 losses previously. What would be the narrative? Would it be that, oh, man, he's so triumphant. Oh, he took chances. Oscar, can you tell me? I'm asking. I'm honestly asking, what would be the narrative? Shout out to Inoue. That fight was fantastic. Shout out to Inoue. He showed nuts, guts, and glory. Shout out to Inoue. He showed a fighting spirit. But you know what he also showed? Massive amounts of vulnerability. So I will repeat the same thing I've been saying for about a year and a half, 2 years, ever since I had my channel. I don't care if it's Inoue. I don't care if he got his sins, they wash his sins away, or I don't care if he's in the way. Junto in 5. I got Junto Nakatani in 5. Nah, I really don't have him in 5, but I got Junto Nakatani winning. I don't care if it's in the way, he has it, they wash his sins away, or he's just in the way. Junto in 5. I like that. I ain't gonna lie, I like that. That was pretty fire. Junto Nakatani gonna knock that boy block off. Stop playing. Big Junto gonna drop bombs on him. I'm just asking. You got to think about it now. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Just think about it. Just think about it. Don't get mad, because if you get mad, then you're not gonna hear what I'm saying. But if you relax and just think about it a little bit, put a Ramon Cardenas fighter level caliber in front of because we just complained about Canelo fighting Scull. We just complained about that, an undisputed fight. We just complained about that because we didn't know the opponent, right? Did you know who Cardenas was? We just complained when Terrence Crawford fought Israel Madrimov in his debut at a new weight class against an undefeated champion. Undefeated champion. We complained about that. Did you know who Cardenas was? Some of us are complaining about Usyk fighting Daniel Dubois because he beat him already. Did you know who TJ Doheny was? Did you know he had 4 losses? Some people are saying Naoya Inoue doesn't have to fight MJ Akhmadaliev because he has 1 loss. TJ Doheny had 4 of them things. I didn't stop Inoue from fighting him. Louis Neary had a knockout loss. I didn't stop Inoue from fighting him. MJ Akhmadaliev has 1 loss to Marlon Tapales, who was one half of the undisputed fight with Naoya Inoue. Oh, by the way, MJ Akhmadaliev only lost by split decision. He didn't get knocked out. So Inoue's opponents don't have to be undefeated. They don't have to be guys that are highly ranked contenders. They don't have to be guys that are seen with a high profile and seen as very formidable. Seems like he could just fight anybody to me, and we okay. Because because he was entertaining. You know, this is the thing. Because he was entertaining. He is entertaining. Like I said, I do think he had the best fight of the weekend. But it wasn't because of him. It was because Ramon Cardenas exceeded our expectations. So if you could find something good to compliment him on this performance, cool. Do the same thing for Gervonta Tank Davis. Be like, dang, man, he's fighting Frank Martin. He may not be a champion. He may not be Shakur that we want to see. But dang, he fought an undefeated, highly ranked contender in Frank Martin and knocked him out. Oh, but you don't say that was entertaining, though. You don't find things to appreciate with him, though. You just find things to be negative about. Oh, it wasn't Shakur Stevenson. It wasn't Lomachenko. It wasn't the other champions. He fought a guy in Frank the Ghost Martin who stepped up and picked up boxing late. All of a sudden now you got your magnifying glass and you going through gosh dang 23andMe or whatever that what's the service that you could go back in people's ancestry? Ancestry.com. All of a sudden you pull out the gosh dang bibliography. I said bibliography, I meant biography. You pull up the biography and all the details of gosh dang Frank Martin just to critique him, to make it seem like Tank's not fighting nobody. When Shakur Stevenson fights Josh Padley, all of a sudden the narrative and the main focus is the fact that he's not a full-time boxer, he's an electrician. Well, Ramon Cardenas is unknown. Ramon Cardenas has a loss. He's not undefeated. And he has another occupation. He's a Lyft driver. You heard him say it. Oh, but the focus is that he saved boxing. It's so entertaining. Get the freak out of here, man. Just keep it consistent, man. I don't, like I said, now you're anyways a beast. But when you got Gabriel Rosado, that meat swallower, when you got who's the other person? Paulie Malignaggi, when you got Oscar De La Hoya, when you got all these goofies out here talking about, oh, this guy saved boxing, he saved the weekend. Yes, it was the most entertaining fight, but it should not have been. If you want to be real about it, this should have been the easiest fight of the weekend. By far. This was the most unbalanced matchup. By far. This was the most lopsided matchup by far. It is what it is. So you can get mad at me if you want to. I can take it. You can't whoop my ass. You know, damn Oscar still keeps riding on the hey, yo, I don't know about that. I ain't saying all that now. You know, shout out to, I do like Oscar, man, but you know, he plays a promotional hat well, but we gonna pause that.
No, did he?
We definitely gonna pause that. I don't even know why I picked that comment to read. That's crazy. Two says they not gonna be honest. They just keep jumping through hoops. Yep, to criticize Tank. Right. Let me pull out my GTD. Hold on. Let me pull out that GTD chain. Cause she about to cook. I feel it. He said those fights on Friday showed that it was never 4 Kings. It was just Tank. And anyways, food at 130. Yeah, facts. I don't think he should go to 130 though. I think he should stay at 122. I'm actually kind of nervous about him going to 126 now. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying Inoue's not good. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that he's great, right? As a great fighter, let's keep the expectations the same. Don't change the grading rubric. Don't change the criteria for this person. If this person has to follow this criteria to be considered a great fighter or to maintain their position, apply it to Terrence Crawford, apply it to Usyk, apply it to Inoue, apply it to Canelo, apply it to Tank, apply it to Bivol, apply it to Beterbiev, or every other fighter that you think is good. David Benavidez, whoever, Shakur, whoever, apply the same thing. Don't pick and choose. Because I guarantee you, if Canelo was fighting a Ramon Cardenas, we would be talking trash. Because we just talked trash about him fighting an undefeated champion in William Scull. Because you didn't know him. But you also don't know Ramon Cardenas. And Ramon Cardenas is not a champion. And Ramon Cardenas is not undefeated. William Scull was, all the above. Undefeated, champion, unknown, yes, but an undefeated champion. That fight was shitty, though. The fight was garbage. I'm there. The fight was garbage. You know, Clarence Banks, my boy Clarence in the building. Facts, big facts, man. I don't tell no lies. I don't get paid to lie now. Anyway, allergies kick in with his left hands. Tio had a good win versus an undefeated guy. Yep. Do you think Scull will be avoided or blackballed after the track meet performance? I think he should. Well, let me not advocate for somebody being blackballed. He should be penalized. He should go through the same thing that Jermaine Ortiz went through. Absolutely. He put on a terrible performance. I'm not here justifying that performance. That performance was garbage. Devin Haney and Jose Carlos Ramirez's performance was garbage. But what I'm saying is, don't tell me that Devin Haney and Jose Carlos Ramirez's performance was garbage, but then tell me that, oh, it's okay for Canelo to not know how to cut off the ring. Canelo's my favorite fighter because he's a beast. And when you're a beast, I expect you to know how to cut off the ring. I don't want to hear, oh, it's William Scull's fault. Yes, it's William Scull's fault. He's part of the problem, but you're also part of the problem. Same thing with Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, shout out to Robert Garcia. I personally think he's the best trainer right now. Not just because he won the award of Trainer of the Year, but because I think he literally is, in my personal opinion, because of his stable, because of the amount of champions he has, because of his body of work. But I see Robert Garcia complaining about Devin Haney's movement. Excuse me. I thought before the fight, you told me that he was going to knock Devin Haney out. How do you think you're going to be able to knock out Devin Haney? You told me that Devin Haney had a weak chin. Do you think he was just going to stand there and trade? So hold on. By your own admission, you telling me that you knew that Devin Haney had a weak chin. You said that. You knew that he didn't want to get in a firefight and engage in the middle of the ring. So why are you telling me now that you expected him to do so? You already told me prior to the fight so many times, so many weeks before, that he wasn't going to do that. So I would think, as a best trainer in boxing, as a very accomplished trainer in boxing, as a trainer who's training a formidable a beast of a fighter, Ramirez, a former Olympian, a former unified champion, you would teach him how to effectively cut off a ring. I don't care if he was fighting Usain Bolt. He ain't fighting Usain Bolt on a track field. He's fighting him in a boxing ring. You should know how to cut off the ring. So yes, I blame Devin Haney for a terrible performance, but it was dominant. Dominant is not synonymous with being exciting. Dominance is not synonymous with being intriguing. Dominant is not synonymous with being interesting. Dominant means that you convincingly got the job done. I scored it 11 rounds to 1 in favor of Devin Haney. Some people scored it 12 rounds to 0 in favor of Devin Haney. Some people scored, the worst scorecard I see was 10 rounds to 2 in favor of Devin Haney. That sounds like a dominant performance to me. It might not have been a fun performance, but it was dominant. So if you're Robert Garcia and you telling me, oh, Devin Haney was running, you telling me you're incapable of teaching the guy how to cut off the ring, being an all-time great trainer, being the current trainer of the year, you should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, because we have no problem critiquing coaches, right? When Jerron Boots Ennis dropped Karen Chukazan, but he didn't knock him out, we said, oh, Bozy Ennis, all he told him to do was, oh, you better go get him, you better go get him. We critique Bozy Ennis as a trainer. We had no problem doing that. We always critique Bill Haney as a trainer and talk about his deficiencies. We have no problem doing that. Oh, but all of a sudden trainers don't matter. When Tank had a knee, when Tank took a knee and he had a draw with Lamont Roach, what is one of the first things we said? Oh, Tank didn't look the same. Why did we say he didn't look the same? Oh, because it wasn't Coach Calvin Ford. It was Barry Hunter. So we had no problem blaming Barry Hunter. I saw people critique Derek James. We said Ryan Garcia did adapt. We had no problem blaming Derek James. Oh, but all of a sudden the trainer of the year, who's supposed to be the best trainer, he's exempt from critiques? Not over here, baby. We gonna critique everybody, baby. So shame on Ramirez for being a former Olympian and a former unified champion and not knowing how to cut off the ring. And shame on the coach of the year, Robert Garcia, who I personally believe is the best. I think the best is Robert Garcia. The second best is Bomac. And the third best for me right now is probably Bozy Ennis. By the way, he has O'Shea Jones. You know, I'm talking about one time for the ladies. She is a champion under Bozy Ennis. You know what I'm saying? One time for the ladies. He got O'Shea Jones. He got, of course, his son, Jerron Boots Ennis. And he has somebody else as a champion, too. I can't remember. Oh, Stephen Coolboy Fulton. You know what I'm saying? So one time for Bozy Ennis. But I still think he's behind Bomac, who I still think is behind Robert Garcia. So I'm not saying only blame Ramirez, but I'm saying blame Devin Haney. But just don't solely blame Devin Haney. It takes two to tango. That's why I'm saluting NAOYA, Inoue, and Cardenas, because they both came to fight, which is why it was exciting. But when Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz put forth that stinker, that terrible fight that they had, I blame Teofimo, but I also blame Jermaine Ortiz. When Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos fought, I blame Shakur Stevenson, but I also blame Edwin De Los Santos. When Richard Riakporhe and Chris Billiam-Smith put on that terrible grappling match when they fought, I blame Chris Billiam-Smith, but I also blame Richard Riakporhe. So when Devin Haney and Ramirez put on that shitty fight, and Canelo and Scull put on that shitty fight, I'm blaming Canelo, and I'm blaming William Scull. I'm blaming Ramirez, and I'm blaming Haney. I'm not just blaming one side. I especially don't want to hear from the trainer who couldn't train his former Olympian unified champion to cut off the ring. You should be quiet. I'm just saying. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Crawford by 11th, by KO by the 11th round over Canelo, unless Reynoso throws in the towel first. TBE Boxer says that. I disagree, man. I got Canelo winning that fight. Shout out to my boy Crawford, though, man. I think that's a great fight. It's intriguing because it's a testament to how phenomenal of a boxer he is, because otherwise, why would we want to see a guy that primarily campaigns at 147 fight a guy at 168? We want to see it, and we're intrigued because Canelo is so great and Terrence Crawford is so great. So that's why it's intriguing. So the fact that I think it's an interesting matchup, that's already a testament to Crawford's greatness. However, I think Canelo's size will get to him. And I know they're the same height, but we don't call a giraffe the biggest animal in the world, right? Or the largest animal in the world. We call it elephant, right? So being tall doesn't mean that you're big, right? We're talking about mass. An elephant is more massive. Canelo is more massive than Terrence Crawford, even if he's slightly shorter. And I think that weight disparity is going to play a significant role in the later rounds. So in my personal opinion, I got Canelo, not just because he's my favorite fighter, but because I think that they're both exceptional fighters. And I'm going to go with the bigger exceptional fighter. I'm going with Canelo. But if you're a Terrence Crawford fan or a Canelo, or you just think Terrence Crawford's going to win, I'm not saying that in a bad way and with a negative connotation. If you think Terrence Crawford would beat Canelo, you definitely got to boost the confidence with that performance last night or Saturday night. I promise you that. It takes two to tango, right? It takes two to tango. Jay Boogie, DBT in the, yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Jay Boogie in the building. What's good, brethren? Floyd is Canelo's son with the defense. Canelo is Floyd's son with the defense. Great defense. Yeah. Shout out to Top Rank, Sneak Dissing, Turkey and Golden Boy. They posted anyway. The caption was, that's how you do boxing. Shout out to my guy Isaiah in the building. El Divino overall. Hey, El Divino did this thing too, man. Shout out to who'd he fight? Edward Vasquez, man. Hey, I'm a bigger Edward Vasquez fan, man. He put on, bro. He showed some heart and he showed some nuts and cojones and all that stuff, you know, and bon. So shout out to Edward Vasquez. He fought as well as he could, but like I said, to me, Espinosa is the best at 126, in my personal opinion. And then especially with Stephen Fulton going to 130. I think a lot of people don't realize this, man. You realize that Stephen Fulton is on one hell of a comeback? Stephen Fulton, he beat Brandon Figueroa to get the WBC title, right? a guy that he already beat. So let's just think about this. A couple months ago, before Stephen Fulton beat Brandon Figueroa, when he was at 126, right? Brandon Figueroa, there's 4 champions: Nick Ball, Brandon Figueroa, Angelo Leo, and Rafael Espinosa. Stephen Fulton already beat one of the champions in Brandon Figueroa, the WBC champion. He already beat the IBF champion, Angelo Leo. And then he went and fought Brandon Figueroa and took his belt. Shout out to Brandon Figueroa, you know, it's just a bad matchup for him, you know. So Angelo Leo, who's about to fight Tomoki Kameda in his IBF mandatory in Japan, he has a loss to Stephen Fulton. He didn't lose to Espinosa. He didn't lose to Nick Ball. So you can make an argument that Stephen Fulton should be one of the top people considered at 126. Now, of course, the rumors are that he's going to go to 130 and fight Oshiki Foster, which I think is going to be a great fight. But we cannot overlook him at 126 is what I'm saying. Stephen Fulton versus Nick Ball is a good fight. If Nick Ball doesn't get to utilize his roughhouse tactics, he might lose that fight. I'm just saying, he might lose that fight. But I definitely have Nick Ball. Hopefully he fights Inoue. I got Inoue beating Nick Ball. But like I said, I think Espinosa is the best at 126. If I had to pick one person to become undisputed at 126 out of Stephen Fulton, Nick Ball, Angelo Leo, and Espinosa, I got El Divino, in my personal opinion. But yeah, man, shout out to Top Rank, man. They had a great card. I personally thought the Canelo card was good outside of the main event. The main event was trash. But I enjoyed F.A. Jogba and Martin Piccoli. That wasn't a knockout fight, but I thought it was good. You have the Nigerian Badman and F.A. Jogba. Big up Nigeria going against the Democratic of Congo, the Congolese, Badman and Martin Piccoli. I thought that was a good fight. I also thought Badu Jack and Noel McCallan was a good fight. That was a championship fight for the WBC belt at cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? Badu Jack obviously successfully defended that. And then who else? We had the young bull Verde, Marco Verde, making his debut and getting a stoppage in decisive fashion. Easy money. And then there was another fight. Oh, Jaime Munguia, he didn't get a knockout, but that was a good fight too against Bruno Serra. So I think it's over exaggerated how bad it was, because Friday was bad. And once again, we know that boxing fans, particularly in America, my American brethren and sistren, we often don't pay attention to boxing unless it's superstars. So if you want to talk about the superstar matchups and fights, yes, this weekend was horrible. But if you look outside of the superstar matchups, I mean Teofimo and Barbosa, Haney and Ramirez, Ryan Garcia and Romero, because that wasn't exciting besides the knockdown that Rolly Romero got in the second round, and then Canelo and Scull. If you look past those and look at the actual cards, especially on Saturday, it wasn't a bad weekend of boxing. But I do agree with the sentiment that NAOYA Inoue had the best fight. But once again, I think that you also got to say that he had the worst opponent. Facts. Literally. Not figuratively speaking. Not speaking in hyperbole. I'm not saying that to be condescending towards Ramon Cardenas. He just literally was the worst. He showed a lot of heart. I'm interested in seeing him again, and I watched him before, but you know what I'm saying? It's just so funny. Like I said, when we talk about Canelo, we say, oh, you know, it was bad. If you don't like Canelo, you say, oh, it was bad. And who's William Scull? Well, who the hell is Cardenas? Just saying. If Canelo was fighting Cardenas, he would have knocked him out too. And he wouldn't need the ref to step in and do it. B-Dog says Friday was boring. Agreed. Saturday was okay. Yo, Irony in the building, my guy. What's good? Big member in the building. He said, I was thinking about the cool boy already finished his redemption pad. Now he got to rebuild his legacy. Yep, I agree. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are picking him over Shock. I'm not sure about that fight. I have to think about that fight. Oscar versus Bill would have been a better fight. Facts. Shout out to Trio Bill. But yeah, speaking of Trio Bill, that is my spiel, man. I just think it's just funny because, you know, the focus of the narrative was that Shakur was fighting an electrician, you know, but and Shakur smoked Padley. But then NAOYA Inoue fought a lift driver, and we're okay. Nobody brings it up. Man. Like I said, shout out to NAOYA Inoue, man. That was a great performance, but we got to relax. We got to apply the same amount of pressure. The focus of Shakur's last opponent was the fact that he was not a full-time boxer. NAOYA Inoue's opponent's not a full-time boxer either. But it's okay to overlook it because somehow it's almost sacrilegious to speak I will say effectively, because if you're not telling the truth, you're speaking ineffectively on the topic. So it's almost sacrilegious to speak effectively on the topic when it comes to NAOYA Inoue. If you're not praising him, all of a sudden you hate boxing, or they even say that you're racist or whatever, you're prejudiced against Japanese folks or Asian folks in particular. No, I'm just keeping it consistent. I can't speak on the intentions of others, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to me, I speak it consistently, bro. Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorite fighters. He's Filipino. He might not be Japanese, but he's Asian. Junta Nakatani is one of my favorite fighters right now. Pacquiao's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Junta Nakatani is one of my favorite fighters right now. He's Japanese. So being honest has nothing to do with hatred, man. We got to stop that. You know, well, I mean, I know it's kind of hard to do because there are a lot of biased, ethnically biased channels out there and stuff like that, and people out there, which is disgusting. But at the same time, we got to understand that everybody's not like that, you know. And Inoue had the best performance, absolutely. He had the most exciting fight, absolutely. He did not have the strongest opponent. He didn't. It is what it is. Lyft and DoorDash. Talk to him, Isaiah. So shout out to Cardenas, man. He showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of guts. He dropped Inoue. But when we watched the fight, what did I say? I said, oh no, he's looking like a one-trick pony. He keeps relying on that hook, and then NAOYA Inoue was timing him. So he looked green. He looked inexperienced. It's not enough to be successful with one punch, one style, and then think that your opponent, a high caliber opponent like NAOYA Inoue, is not going to adapt. And I'm not saying that to be extra critical of Ramon Cardenas. I'm saying that he just didn't have the experience or the know-how, and it's probably because he's not fully focused on boxing. It's not because he's incapable. It's just because he's not a full-time boxer. Which is why once he had success with that hook, he kept trying to throw it over and over and over again, to the point where he started paying for it. Literally. I'm talking about he was knocking the sonic rings out of his chin. Every time he threw that hook, it was telegraphed. I seen it. It became predictable. I said that during the VOD, during the live stream. Go check the VOD. Come on, man. That comes with inexperience. That comes with not being a full-time boxer. You know, so like all this stuff, man. I'm kind of disappointed in the reactions, man. Like, I'm not saying it's not great, but you got to relax, man, or keep the same energy, bro. Like, if you're not impressed by Tank beating Frank Martin, if you're not impressed with Tank fighting Lamont Roach as a champion, you know what I'm saying? Even if he's smaller, he's still a champion. Coming from 130, he's still a champion. Let me say that again. And him and Cardenas have the same amount of losses, and him and Cardenas both came from Pro Box. But Lamont Roach is a champion. Let me say that again. If you're disappointed with Tank fighting Lamont Roach, if you're disappointed with Shakur fighting Joshua Padley, if you're disappointed with Canelo fighting William Scull, if you're disappointed with Dimitri Bivol fighting Beterbiev for a third time, if you're disappointed with Alexander Usyk fighting Daniel Dubois, then to keep it consistent, you should also be disappointed with NAOYA Inoue fighting Ramon Cardenas, and NAOYA Inoue fighting Yi Jun Kim, and NAOYA Inoue fighting TJ Doheny, and NAOYA Inoue fighting Louis Neary. I'm just saying, bro. Come on, dog. Like, come on, man. I know that hurt your feelings. I know. NAOYA Inoue's a beast, but his opponents have not been. It is what it is. It is what it is. NAOYA Inoue's a beast. His opponents have not been. I could argue that NAOYA Inoue's last opponents have been the worst from a top-notch, high-caliber fighter for the last 2 years. Shout out to my guy Oster in the building. Big member in the building. Yes, sir. But I'm about to open up the Discord, man. That's it for me, man. I just want to talk about the weekend review, man. I don't think it was as bad as everybody says, but I do recognize that I like boxing a ridiculous amount. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy boxing more than the average bear, so it wasn't that bad to me, but definitely the complaints are warranted, in my opinion. Yeah, it could have been better. I think that Turkey kind of dropped the ball, you know. I want to show y'all, but before I show y'all this, you could join the Discord too. Like I said, I'm about to open up the Discord, so please pull up. You know the link. I want to show y'all this, man. I want to show y'all this as well. You know, I want to show y'all this right here. I want to show y'all what this man said. I want to show you what Robert Garcia said. So all right, you're in the Corvette. So look at this. This is what Robert Garcia tweeted. This is what I'm talking about right here. Hey, y'all follow your boy on Twitter too, man. Follow your boy on Twitter, man. Dr. Boxing Talk at Dr. PGNGM. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Boxing Talk. Hit your boy with a follow. Appreciate it. Let's keep growing on all platforms. But Robert Garcia says, the way your son acts with the commission, I bet you did it. Because he's responded to Bill Haney saying that Bill Haney said that, Jose Carlos Ramirez ended up in the hospital, which is not really true. He went to the ambulance to get checked, but he's saying that in response to people talking about, how much he didn't get hit. He's like, okay, if my son didn't hit Ramirez, why is he going to get checked in the ambulance? And then Robert Garcia said that, it was because the commission told them all to do it. It was basically following protocol, which is probably true. I believe that. But he said the way your son acts with the commission, I bet you didn't. So he's trying to reference the suing and the no contest. So basically he's trying to say that cheating doesn't matter. And shame on Robert Garcia, especially working in the capacity of a trainer. You should never speak like this. I don't care what the issue is between you and the individual. You should never come off like you're remotely condoning cheating. So basically try to say the way your son acts with the commission, I bet you didn't, like trying to make it seem like Devin Haney cooperated or corroborated with the commission in order to get a no contest, even though that was only because Ryan Garcia he tested positive for PEDs. That's what happens. You get a no contest. No one's blaming Tahir Albright for Keyshawn Davis getting a no contest against him because he tested positive for marijuana, and marijuana is not a PED. Oh, but you didn't know that though, right? Because it's not Ryan Garcia. It's not your favorite fighter that you pay attention to, and you know what he brushes teeth with. You know what kind of toothpaste he uses. You know what kind of breakfast he eats. You know what girl he's dating or boy he's dating, whatever. I don't know. It's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? But you don't care about that. Keyshawn Davis got a no contest, and he tested positive for marijuana because when they fight in Texas, in the state of Texas, marijuana is a banned substance. It's not a PED. It's not a performance enhancing drug, but it's a banned substance. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how much. So my point of saying that is it doesn't matter how much your performance is enhanced. It just matters that the substance that's in your body during the time of the fight is on the banned list. So once again, Keyshawn Davis tested positive for marijuana. That's why his fight against Tahir Albright that he originally won by majority decision, it was changed to a no contest. No one's blaming Tahir Albright. So why are we blaming Devin Haney for Ryan Garcia testing positive? Exactly. But let's keep it going, man. Shout out to Robert Garcia. I like it, but he sounds like an idiot right here. I'm going to keep it funky. He said, the way your son acts with the commission, I bet you did it. He said, there's no locker room, so everyone was told to get checked in the back of the ambulance. And I agree with that part. I definitely agree with him that they had to go get checked in the ambulance. I mean, that just seems like proper protocol. But I don't think so. I don't think that's a problem. And then he said, you think after that fight, either of our fighters needed to go to the ambulance? He said, instead of posting this, we should be apologizing. I agree with that. But then I responded like this. I said, you're the best trainer in the world, not just because you won an award, but because I really think so. I said, instead of apologizing, you should explain how you couldn't manage to teach a former unified champion, former Olympian, how to effectively cut off the ring and then apologize. You should address that issue first and then apologize. Freak out of here, bro. You are a trainer of the year, bro. Literally looked at as the best trainer. And you're complaining that your opponent wasn't trying to line himself up to get hit. How stupid does that sound, chat? I've never seen this. Like, it's not even really, I was going to say I've never seen this stuff be acceptable except for in the sport of boxing, but that's not even true. It's not even acceptable in boxing. It's just acceptable from certain parties when they're fighting certain parties. Can you imagine if Phil Jackson, instead of coaching Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, he said, oh man, we just couldn't figure it out because they just kept playing defense too close. The other team just kept scoring too many buckets. They kept effectively beating us. That's basically what he's saying. He's basically blaming the fighter for not allowing himself to get beaten. They're not coming to get beat by you. They're not coming to help you be. Definitely lackluster. It was bad as far as not wanting to see it. It was not entertaining, but it was effective because he won almost every single round. On my scorecard, he won 11 of the 12 rounds. Some people have it 12-0. So who was ineffective? I think it would be the fighter that didn't win any rounds. That's who was ineffective. And you, as a head trainer, considered the best trainer, you should be able to figure out a way over the course of 12 rounds to stop the opponent from doing what he's doing. Because Devin Haney didn't switch up anything. He kept doing the same thing. And Jose Carlos Ramirez kept plotting and following him. So I'm just saying, just take some accountability. Devin Haney was a shitty style to watch, but Carlos Ramirez was a shitty style to do as well. He implemented a terrible game plan, apparently. He said, I would have really spent my $90 on, hey, yo, shit, at least I would have busted. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Yeah, man, what?
What do you mean by that?
Hey, yo. He said it would have, at least I would have busted a nut.
What?
Yeah, we gonna pause that. We definitely gonna pause that.
No, did he?
We definitely gonna pause that. I feel what you're saying, though. Oh, man, dropping bombs. I got to, bro. That was embezzlement at the least. Yeah, facts. At the very least, that was embezzlement. Yeah, they fooled us all. Doc, who do you think, why do you think all these fighters were so content with throwing so few punches in these fights? I'm going to tell you why, B-Dog. Why? I don't know this now. This is my personal opinion. I don't know. I'm going to be very clear. This is me speculating. I think it's because, man, it's not going to sound right, B-Dog. But I partly blame Turki Alalshikh, man. And I'm not going, shout out to Tim Bradley. I think Tim Bradley was right when he said that that Turki should stop paying these guys that much because they're just cool to go get paid and that's it. I'm not saying that doesn't cross the mind of some fighters, but I don't think that's it, man. I think that's just an emotional response, and I don't blame him because I love genuine reactions, you know what I'm saying? So I actually appreciated that take from Tim Bradley, but I disagree. I don't think, like, you know, in life, right, what they say, man, the only thing better than money is more money. It's like ass, right? The only thing better than ass is more ass, you know what I'm saying? The only thing better than pussy is new pussy, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? Along those lines. So what I'm saying is that even if you get a lot of money, it's not like you don't want to get any more. Now, I'm not saying that some people aren't content, but I don't think it's like, oh, we got paid, so we don't want to perform and ever get paid again. That's basically what Tim Bradley's saying. Like, okay, they don't want to ever, you don't think they want to get an opportunity to get paid again? So they're going to try. I don't think that it's not that they're not trying. What I think is the reason why I blame Turki Alalshikh, Big Turk, is because I think that he's not a matchmaker, bro. He's not a good matchmaker. He's a rich fan. Essentially, he's a rich fan that's able to facilitate these fights, able to sponsor these events, able to put on these events. And he's not thinking about matchmaking. He's just thinking about, oh, this is a good fighter. This is a good fighter. Let's put them together. And I love it. But sometimes two good fighters don't have complementary styles. You feel me? So just because two fighters are good doesn't mean it's going to be a good fight. Because what do we say? The old adage. It's like we conveniently use these terms and conveniently omit or dismiss or forget these terms. What is the adage about boxing? Styles make fights. It's not good styles make fights. It's not bad styles make fights. It's not good and bad styles make fights. It's styles make fights. Meaning that you can have two bad fighters or two mediocre fighters or two pedestrian fighters or two great fighters and have great fights. Or you can have all the above and have two bad fights. So case in point, why do you think Mickey Ward and the late great Arturo Gatti had a trilogy? Is it because they were at the top of their game? Were they both pound for pound fighters? No, it was exciting because them stylistically matching up made exciting fights. Right? So to me, that's what it is, man. It's like, I don't think Shakur Stevens well, that's a bad example because he's born, right? Let me think of people say he's born, so let me think of another I was gonna say Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, but that wasn't even good because Manny Pacquiao, people will say, oh, he was injured, but even that wasn't that exciting because Floyd Mayweather stylistically smutted Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But even with Sugar Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather, right? That was a good fight. Sugar Shane got to Floyd Mayweather stylistically. He gosh dang knocked his block off for a second, but then Floyd recuperated and he put that pressure on him, right? Was that fight boring? It didn't end in a knockout, but it wasn't boring because styles make fights. We saw Floyd literally nullify Sugar Shane Mosley. And that was exciting to me. I think it was exciting. I think I speak for a lot. I think that fight was exciting, you know, but I don't think Jermaine Ortiz, sorry, well, he chose to make that fight terrible, but I don't think, what's the name's a boring fighter. I don't think Devin Haney's a boring fighter. I don't think Ramirez is a boring fighter, but I think Devin Haney knew that he could implement a style that he would be essentially untouchable to Jose Carlos Ramirez, you know? There was another fight that was kind of boring with, what's his name? Dang, what's his name? Let's use Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson. That wasn't that exciting. I know he's known as a boring fighter, but I wouldn't say Edwin De Los Santos is a boring fighter. I think he's an exciting fighter, just not with Shakur. And we think that Shakur as a page is going to be exciting. We gonna see. I think that's going to be exciting, but we'll see though. It may not be. You never know. So what I think, in my personal opinion, I think is the matchmaking that's not the best, you know. But at the same time, if the matchmaking was good, what would we say, B-Dog? We'll say, oh, they're getting easy fights. So it's like we gotta pick. We can't pick and choose, man. If we have good matchmakings, we might not get the best fighting the best. But if we get the best fighting the best, it might not always be good stylistic clashes, you know. So I don't think that anybody was mailing it in. I just think Arnold Barboza, for whatever reason, I think that maybe Teofimo was hitting him harder than we thought, because I was disappointed in Barboza's effort. You know, I had Teofimo winning going in, but Barboza, I don't think he fought with any type of urgency, you know, and I was disappointed in that. But I don't think it was because, oh, I got paid, I don't care. I don't think Barboza was thinking that. I got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. I just think that maybe Teofimo was hitting him harder than we think, and maybe he got hit harder than he thought, and he didn't want to take the risk of getting dropped. Sometimes these fighters think about that too. Everybody's not about that life, man. No matter how you might talk or how you may seem, maybe Arnold Barboza went in there and got touched by Teofimo. He said, hold on. I got to be a little more tactful. And maybe in his mind, he thought he was just going to be able to run down Teofimo because that's how he fights. He's either going to try to counterpunch you or he's going to try to pressure you. And neither one of those worked, because Teofimo was the quicker fighter, the better reflexes fighter, and the overall better fighter. And then Devin Haney and Jose Carlos Ramirez, if Devin Haney was able to move like he moved, it was a boring fight. But if Ramirez can't hit him, I mean, the objective is to win. And if you listen to what Bill Haney said, I know people always talk about, oh, he said he was going to knock him out. But you know what Bill Haney said? Also, that people omitted? He said, we're not going to approach the fight how you want us to approach the fight. He said, we're going to approach it following our game plan, what's best, what fits our best interest. He said, because last time we tried to listen to the crowd to give you a fun fight, and we went in there against a PED user, and we got knocked down. And nobody showed us any love. Nobody said that he had heart. Nobody appreciated Devin Haney's effort or his style of fighting, trying to be engaged in order to engage the fans. He said, no, we just got criticized. So he said, this time we're going to fight our fight. He literally said that in an interview. But people don't want to hear that, though. They want to pay attention to what they want to pay attention to. I'm not saying that that's an excuse to put on that trash performance. But if you could put on a performance and you're going to win convincingly, it is what it is. Guillermo Rigondeaux did it. Shakur does it. And that's not the first time I've seen Devin Haney do it. That's the first time I see Devin Haney do it that much. You know, he was moving a lot. And I do think that's going to be bad for him, right? Because now, are people going to want to see him as much? That's going to hurt him. So people probably ain't going to want to see him as much, and it's going to hurt his profile. So we'll see how it goes, man. But yeah, I was actually disappointed. To me, he looked scared and apprehensive. To me, he looked like he didn't want to get hit. So, you know, but what I don't agree with is how the referee against William Scull went during the Canelo and the William Scull fight. The referee said, hey, you got to fight. No, that's not your job to tell people how to fight and what style of fighting they should implement. I don't care how boring it is. The referee's job is to officiate. That means you're supposed to uphold the rules, uphold the purity of the sport and the sanctity of the sport, and ensure that the fighters are as safe as possible while getting punched on. That's it. You're not supposed to tell fighters how to fight. I don't care how boring it is. That's not your. And to me, that's just indicative of the pressure that he was feeling. I think the referee knows that, but I think because he was feeling the pressure of the moment, being a referee and hearing Turki Alalshikh, because Turki Alalshikh was on the ropes and trying to get the crowd into it. I think he was feeling the pressure of the moment, so he's trying to control the situation. That's not your job. And I saw Clarissa Shields say the same thing. I saw other fighters say the same thing. I was so glad that they share the same sentiment as me. When does the referee tell the fighters how to fight? That's not your job. But he's feeling the pressure of the moment. And that just shows the human aspect of it, man. Sometimes we do put our emotions. We're all human, right? The referee's not supposed to tell them that. William Scull, you're not supposed to put pressure on the fighter and tell them how to fight. Instead of telling William Scull to fight, why not tell Canelo to cut off the ring? Canelo's my favorite fighter. So I am disappointed in Canelo, because when I think that you're great, I expect great things. I'm not one of these goofies that I like a fighter so he could do no wrong. No, I'm extra critical of Tank. I'm extra critical of Canelo. But what about you? Are you extra critical of your favorite fighter, though? That's the question. Worried about what I'm doing. People be worried about what I'm doing, and if I'm keeping it real, I keep it real all the time. I just got called. People told me I was hating on Canelo the other day. Canelo's my favorite fighter, bro. People told me I was hating on Tank the other day because I said he should get the rematch with Lamont Roach. Tank's one of my favorite fighters, bro. Come on, dog. I keep it too real, bro. It is what it is. So no, that's what I think the issue. I don't think William Scull wanted to mail it in and he was scared to engage. No, I think that William Scull thought with his team that was the most effective way he could win. I think that he thought that if he engaged with Canelo in the middle of the ring, that he would lose that fight. Duh. Like, why would you play to your opponent's strength? Even with Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, I don't think Ryan Garcia, that's the thing. Okay, so this is the thing, B-Dog, and I know it's not. I'm so glad you asked me this question. Cause I'm not talking to you, bro. I'm just speaking. So shout out to you. Shout out to B-Dog for asking a fantastic question and bringing up a great topic, because I don't know why these fighters are doing it. But I tell you what I do know. Ryan Garcia, a lot of us think that, I don't know what y'all think Ryan Garcia is, chat. Do you know why Rolly and Ryan was boring? Do you know why Rolly and Ryan was boring outside of the knockdown in the second round? This is something I know. Everything else was opinionated. This is a fact. The reason why Rolly versus Ryan was boring after the second round is because Ryan didn't want to open up anymore. After he got cracked, you could see he tried to come out with a hook like maybe once or twice. He came out hooking to try to get it back, but then he never really opened up again. And that's okay. It was self-preservation. He was practicing self-preservation. He didn't want to get cracked again. But let's not make this up. I don't know what people think that Ryan Garcia is some type of gladiator. Last time he lost a Tank, a lot of people thought he quit. Gladiators don't quit. So this notion that, it was boring because, they wanted to mail it in because they don't want to, they suddenly, I will not say that Ryan Garcia was thought about making the money. He was doing self-preservation from the point that like, oh yeah, man, I made money, so I don't want to take a risk. No, Ryan Garcia don't really take risks like that anyway. He's going to come out and try to do what he can. And if that doesn't work and he gets cracked, he folds up. He did it against Tank. He didn't open up against Rolly. It was both of their faults. Rolly could have pressed the issue some more as well. I think he was wary of those hooks too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was like, I'm not going to try my best because I got paid. No, Rolly did enough and he did enough to win. This is a guy that he has familiarity with. It wasn't his first time seeing Ryan Garcia. They have familiarity with each other. Same thing with Tank and Roach, right? Like that looked like a sparring session too at some points. It's not because they didn't want to fight, but just because I think that they had familiarity with each other and they have an idea of what they can and can't do against each other. So sometimes we get stinkers, man. It is what it is. This weekend we got a lot of stinkers, but I'm not gonna say. I saw somebody blame the IBF. I think it was it Keith Idek or something, who's a good boxing contributor, but I think he said something like this is what we get when we have the IBF getting their turn and stuff like that. I said, what? So you're gonna blame the IBF for William Scull's performance? So what about the IBF fight that we had with Daniel Dubois versus his IBF mandatory Anthony Joshua? That was a great fight. Did the IBF have anything to do with Shakur and Edwin De Los Santos? That was a boring fight. Did the IBF have anything to do with Chris William Smith and Richard Riakporhe? That was a boring fight. Did the IBF have anything to do with Devin Haney versus Jose Carlos Ramirez? That was a boring fight. It's just that's what I be talking about, bro. It's so funny how selective we are with our judgments and our criticisms. How the heck did you just blame the IBF for William Scull's performance? You do it like that's what I'm like. I like Canelo, bro. Canelo's my favorite fighter, bro. I don't go that far out my way to not criticize him. These people be scared to criticize certain fighters because they're scared of the backlash. He tried everything in his. How did you blame the IBF? This man, he didn't blame Canelo. He didn't blame Canelo's lack of effort or lack of ability to cut off the ring. He blamed the IBF for ranking William Scull. Because he's trying to say, I blame them because, he was number one. He was Canelo's IBF mandatory. Canelo didn't want to fight him. And now he ended up fighting him. And this is the performance he puts on. Is this the first time we've seen a bad performance from a boxer? So every time, so that's what we're doing now. When we see a bad performance, we're going to blame the sanctioning bodies. I mean, if that's what we're going to do, let's do it. But let's do it all the time. Don't do it selectively. Do it all the time. Do it all the time. So blame the WBC for the Devin Haney and Jose Carlos Ramirez fight. I mean, right? That's what we should do, right? What are we doing, bro? Like, I don't know, bro. It's crazy, bro. One of the DAZN comments was hating on IBF too. B-Dog, who is the president of IBF? I'm going to just ask this thought-provoking question. Not who he is, like his name. I'm not asking about his name. I'm asking, what does he look like? what community does he represent? Oh, okay. And that might give you some insight as to why they're so willing to openly criticize them, and they're not as willing to criticize others. I'm just saying. Sometimes that's unfortunately, that's the honest truth. Because we've seen plenty of boring fights with the WBC. We've seen plenty of boring fights with the WBA. We've seen plenty of boring fights with the WBO. Is it he black? Okay, BR. Okay, BR. Now you talking. Okay, now you're talking. I'm not saying that's the only reason, because of course money is an issue too, and maybe they're not bending to the will of others. I don't know. But I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, man. I believe in reasons, not coincidences. Okay. 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 Just know that. I don't think that's a coincidence. Okay. Pillowcase Canelo is pipping the boxing game. Nah, I ain't going with that, man. My boy, bro, that's the thing. It's a bad fight. It was a bad stop. William Scull thought that he was doing a job against the guy. Like, it's the same as Jermaine Ortiz, man. Jermaine Ortiz and Teofimo was a bad fight. I didn't see anybody blame the WBO. Did you, BR? Did you, B-Dog? Did you, Oscar? Did you, Oster? Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz was terrible. Did anybody blame President Gustavo Oliveira and the WBO? I don't think so. I don't think so. So you tell me where I'm wrong. You tell me where I'm wrong, chat. I would hope I'm wrong. We got call. I'm gonna call it for what it is, man. I ain't pulling no punches, man. That was a great question, B-Dog. Thank you, brother. Don't mind talking about these things. I don't like talking about these things. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't like isolating anybody, and unfortunately, that's a sensitive topic. But at the same time, I'm not scared of anything, especially not words, and have a conversation. If you want to be mad and assume something, it's never racist to point out racism. It's never discriminatory to point out discrimination. It's never prejudicial to point out prejudice, but that's how people try to act. Everybody blame Jermaine. Thank you, B-Dog. Thank you. Thank you. But then we got people out here blaming the IBF for bad fights. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that when they ordered Beterbiev to fight Michael Eifert, I'm not saying that I didn't respond like everybody else and say,
who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? No, damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know who Michael Eifert is, but I'm just saying this as well. Edgar Berlanga was ranked #1 by the WBA. We said that he didn't deserve that fight. Where's the backlash for President Gilberto Mendoza? So let's not act like all the rankings are only there for people that are ranked high because they're popular or they're known. Sometimes there's unknown guys that go through the rankings. And also, to be fair, we should be applauding the IBF, in my personal opinion, because you shouldn't have to have a big backing by a big promotional company like PBC or Golden Boy or Matchroom in order to get a title opportunity that you deserve through the rankings. That's what the ranking is supposed to do. It's supposed to be able to give notoriety to the guys that may not have the big backing, may not have the huge social media following, may not have the huge profile, but they still get an opportunity to demonstrate their skills. Who the heck was Dimitri Bivol until he beat Canelo? Did Dimitri Bivol suddenly become a good fighter when he stepped in the ring with Canelo? Did he morph from a caterpillar to a butterfly when he fought Canelo? No, he was always good, but your common ass did not know him because he did not have the opportunity to demonstrate his skills. And then once he got the opportunity as an unknown fighter, which is what the IBF is advocating for, when he got his opportunity as an unknown fighter, he showed out. So sometimes the unknown fighter is a beneficiary of getting the opportunity and getting put on the map. But sometimes you will get stinkers as well. I'm just saying, bro. They blamed the IBF for William Scull's performance. Bro, it's crazy, bro. BR said, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I know for sure Oscar didn't want that rematch with Haney and Garcia, and especially with it being worth 30 million. I'm starting to see through. Come on now, BR. Come on. I like him. I like my guy Turk. But no one's above critiques, man. And I think that's one of his shortcomings is that he's not that good of a matchmaker. He's going from a fan standpoint, and I think that this is emphasizing that you can't skip steps. And Frank Warren is a good matchmaker. Eddie Hearn's a good matchmaker. Oscar De La Hoya, as much as I talk trash about him, he's a good matchmaker and a promoter. Al Heyman and PBC, they know what they're doing. Their cards are exciting. Boxer knows what he's doing. These are good matchmakers and promoters. I think the best matchmaker is Frank Warren, but even Top Rank and Bob Arum, clearly they're good matchmakers as well. So I think that you need to be acclimated with the sport before you just come in and assume that you're going to revolutionize everything. However, he's doing a great job because he's facilitating great fights as well. I cannot act like it's all bad with Turki either. Matter of fact, there's more good than bad, because if it wasn't for Turk facilitating the first heavyweight battle for undisputed in a quarter century, 25 years, we wouldn't have got Alexander Usyk for Tyson Fury. We wouldn't have got Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. We wouldn't have got that great card with Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov with all those other fights on it that could have been headliners by themselves. So he's doing some good things, but he's having some shortcomings as well. There's nothing wrong with pointing it out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my guy Oscar in the building. What's good, brethren? Oh, no. We about to kick you out with this guy sex sounds.
Nah, man. I'm just here chilling.
Oscar, man. I appreciate you pulling up, man. I'm gonna pull up Isaiah. I just wanted to give you the floor first before I pulled up Isaiah and Irony.
Also, on talking about Turkey, yeah, we're disappointing on what transpired this weekend, but also it's kind of not his fault because the matchups were great.
Come on now, talk to him. Don't talk too much common sense now. We might get banned. Because if you speak the truth, you get canceled.
Tio, that's a fight that I wanted to see since a long time. Barbosa's been calling him out and all this and that. Barbosa pulled out a stinker.
Come on now. I guess it was the WBO's fault.
Yeah, it's WBO. Yeah, Chris Mannix said he wants to get rid of all the mandatories. Bitch.
Chris Mannix. Come on, bro.
Like I'm telling you, and Ryan's like with that too, like sentiment. And I'm like, bro, yeah, because you got the following.
Yeah, of course, Ryan Garcia's with that. Yeah, of course, yeah.
What's gonna happen to the Abdullah Masons? What's gonna happen to the Carmel?
Exactly.
What's gonna happen to the Cardenas?
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen to the Bivol? Because Bivol had no backing.
No backing.
Bivol had
no backing, bro.
I mean, hell no.
Come on.
After
bro.
Canelo, everybody wanted to sign him.
Come on.
Before then, nobody wanted.
Come on now. What's gonna happen to the fighters if you get rid of that? That's the consequence. Of course, like Oscar just articulated, bro. Ryan Garcia wants that because he has a big fight. He's already getting fights that he doesn't deserve based off of merit. He's getting off of popularity. So when Ryan advocates for something like that, I'm not just picking on Ryan. I'm just using that as an example as a popular fighter. Of course, they don't want the rankings because guess what? Ryan Garcia could lose to Rolly. We're still gonna want to see Ryan Garcia versus Tank. He could lose to Tank. We're still gonna see Ryan Garcia versus Tio. He could lose to Tio. We're still gonna want to see him versus Duran Bucenis. He could lose to Duran Bucenis. We're still gonna want to see him over Virgil Ortiz. Against Virgil Ortiz. But what about the guys that are in the rankings that deserve these fights? They're gonna get pushed to the wayside, like a Ramon Cardenas, like a Dmitry Bivol before he got popular. That's why the rankings matter. A little bit. Now I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the rankings aren't suspect because yes, we do know it's politics. At the same time, though, sometimes you could get through the politics and get what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? MJ Akhmadaliev, I tell people all the time, bro. Why did Bob Arum say that they're not going to fight MJ Akhmadaliev? He said he has no following. He said that he's a nobody. That's why he's able to circumvent MJ Akhmadaliev this entire time. MJ Akhmadaliev had to threaten to file litigation in order to get what he deserved. Do you think that'll happen more or less if you get rid of the rankings? And you get rid of mandatories? Fuck out of here, man.
More.
Come on now. Of course it's going to happen more. Of course it's going to go more. It's going to go unnoticed more. Come on, man.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
You should say he won all the smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him filing a lawsuit. I don't see him utilizing his tools. I see him. You know what I see him do?
What'd he do?
A bunch of talking.
Who you talking about again? I don't think they heard you in the back. Who you talking about?
Shoo Warren. Carrington.
I don't think Shushu really want. I mean, like no disrespect to Shushu, but I really don't think he want that life. I mean, he bought that life, and I think he's smart because I think he gets smoked by all the champions, especially Inoue.
He said he's gonna chop that tree down yesterday, though. You seen him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Mess around and get knocked out.
Facts.
I wanna
easy work. Easily.
Easy work, bro.
Easy work.
like Vasquez, like you think Shushu with his output, he's gonna do something? Espinosa got a chin now.
Espinosa stopping him under 5 rounds, bro. No disrespect to Shushu. It is what it is, man. Espinosa stopping him under 5, bro.
Man, I love that fight from Espinosa because Vasquez was getting to him. It just he wasn't landing as much. And I ain't gonna lie though, Harvey Dogs, as a stoppage referee, he sucks, bro. That guy took way too damn.
Yeah, he should have stopped it.
Much,
Yeah, he should have stopped it. I agree.
He went 40 seconds, 3 rounds consecutive. Like, well, I think it was the 4th, the 5th, the 6th.
Yeah.
And then the 7th, it was kind of But it was like, for 3 rounds, he had him hurt. 40 seconds. He was throwing punches for 40 seconds, and he didn't stop the fight. But shout out to El Divino. Shout out to Edgar Vasquez, though. I didn't think he had it like that.
Yes.
Honestly.
Facts.
But I want to say, you say Ramon Cardenas, right?
Yep. Your mic is like skipping. Your mic is like going like low and then loud and low and low. I don't know.
Oh damn.
Yeah. I'll just let you do it. I was gonna say too, something you said, like going back to the IBF, right? Like I said, I'm not mad if you have that opinion, you know, about the IBF, because I said that too. I said, man, that was one of my critiques. I said, man, they got to chill out with these mandatories. They got to know when to be selective, like, because they spoiled, in my opinion, the second fight of Usyk and Fury being undisputed, you know. But I understand that. I think what they're trying to do is righteous a bit, you know, trying to get people their chance. But at the same time, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, like Kenny Rogers told us. But I will say this though, if you're not saying that about the rankings when it comes to like Edgar Berlanga, like a lot of people are complaining, how did Edgar Berlanga get #1 in WBA? But no one, and that's cool, but no one said, oh, we should stop. It's the WBA's fault. Like no one said that, oh, the WBA should stop what they're doing or change what they're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is such the harsh criticism? And that's my question. I'm not saying that you can't question it, period. No, let's question it. But, you know, let's be fair too. He said you're in the Discord. All right, but I'm gonna pull y'all up. My fault. I forgot actually. Where Isaiah go? Where the I don't see you, Oster. I see Irony though. Go ahead, Oscar. My bad.
About Cardenas, you said that people are saying he's a cab driver, right?
Yes.
So this cab driver was his highest opposition since the Paulus.
Oh, okay.
What does that make Neri, TJ, Kim?
Yep, you're right, because they didn't. Well, Neri dropped him, but the other guys didn't drop him. Kim didn't drop him. Don't Haney ain't dropped. He dropped himself. Don't Haney dropped himself. Yeah.
He timed out the fight.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, just be fair, bro. Just be fair, man. Like,
you have Tim Bradley saying, "Oh, his recovery is amazing." We seen Cardenas. He's a dog. Shut up, bro. You just hating,
bro. You don't even know Cardenas. Shout out to Cardenas. Like I said, I want to see more of Cardenas. But that didn't surprise me. That did surprise Oscar. We knew he was going to be tough while it lasted. We knew that. Yeah. Why didn't you know that? But then if you don't know that, how are you praising this guy? How are you praising Inoue for a performance against a guy that you don't know? But then at the same time, you're simultaneously critiquing Canelo because he's fighting a guy that you don't know. Where's the consistency?
Not only that, my thing comes from this. Like, okay, you don't know the guy, right? Like Cardenas, you didn't know him. Like people say, oh, but like you're praising him for, oh, he keeps putting out performances. Oh, he's like a beast. His recovery. That's why I don't like the Bud and Canelo matchup, because I know whoever wins or whoever loses, in the people's eyes,
oh, they're trash.
Bud is probably gonna go out of the pound for pound, or at least be dropped to like 8.
Yep.
And Canelo's gonna be boosted up. And if Canelo loses, hey, GG's my guy. You ain't the great.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, he's definitely not. Now he's a fraud. Everybody. Oh, Paulie Malignaggi is gonna love that. You take one loss. One loss at the, well, okay, well, this would be, if he loses, that'd be three losses out of 67 fights. You trash. Imagine. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Tim Bradley talking about, oh, it was there were stankers and all this and that. Like, bitch, all your fights weren't good.
Right. Right.
As a matter of fact, most of your fights were trash.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. He said we need to hold the sanctioned bodies accountable for allowing fighters to duck mandatories or forcing it if they do not fight them. They must get right. But they do though. That's the thing. They'll enforce it if they don't like you.
Yep.
Or directly benefits them. Like, look what they did with Canelo and look what the WBC just did. They just proved it, right? Look how long they could have stripped Canelo in favor of Benavidez if that was really their intention, to look out for the fair treatment or equal opportunity of the fighters. But then they didn't strip him, you know, and then now they stripped Bivol in 0.2 seconds.
Hello?
Right? So it's just crazy. Yeah, we hear you, bro. So it's just crazy, man. So I just don't think that is. It's a clear sign that it's just unfair. And like I said, I'm not saying that I don't think Canelo ducked, and that's why I don't think Canelo ducked, because he was never ordered to fight Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? But then they're trying to act like Bivol ducked, but Bivol already had freaking Bivol already had prior engagements. He already had something to do. He's contracted to fight Beterbiev. Two things, right? So come on, man. He had contractual obligations, man. Shout out to my guy Oster, man. What's good? Irony, what's good?
God bless you, bro.
God bless you as well, man. Thank you.
I see boxing with 2-4 ducked me.
Yeah, they were supposed to scrabble up today, remember?
Yeah, I put it on the what's the name again? Square Up DBT Square Up schedule and ranking. Set up boxing with 2-4 Monday morning, and you put a 100 there.
Somebody quacking.
Yeah, I told you no morning, man. I told you that. Remember I said I went to go schedule that, and I saw that the morning ones that you schedule, you don't do morning. Do Tuesday, Thursday evenings. Like the duck. Yeah.
Oh no, doctor, but you're protecting them from me.
That's crazy. This man said I'm protecting them.
You WBC, bro?
I work on the evenings, doctor. What are we gonna do then? I mean, I can do Tuesdays, I guess, because
so you got one tomorrow. I don't know if it's Kendrick or who is it.
It's Kendrick, but I don't.
One in the morning.
Yeah, there's no morning square ups, man. I don't really like the morning square ups. We do the evening.
All right, Irony. The sanctioning body's protecting me.
Tuesday,
Thursday.
Yo, that's one of the ways
right now.
This man said I'm protecting him because he tried to go. You know how long the schedule been Tuesday, Thursday. So I put 100, but then we talked about this last time. But I was like, I put 100 there. I put 100 on both. But then when I was making the schedule, I was like, oh, hold on, you did mornings. I didn't really see it. I just put 100 because I saw that you put something, but I didn't actually read it. And when I was scheduling, I was like, oh, he put mornings. I was like, nah, Tuesday, Thursday.
I thought you were gonna make an exception for the people's champion.
Nope, no exceptions.
See, the doctor is being a dictator. No, and that's it. See, no, and that's it. Like, damn, bro.
No exceptions, bro. No, sir. No, sir. No exceptions. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing. You don't get nothing. No, sir. But I do want to do it more often, but I think that this is appropriate to start it right here because we don't get enough people to sign up, man. I want it to be spontaneous. I want it to be.
As soon as I can get a job that is by the day or something like that, people ain't got nowhere to hide anymore.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Including Kendrick.
Until then, keep ducking me, Aaron.
Right.
Keep ducking me.
You say he ducking
me. You're the one that's ducking me, bro. Doctor was saying that he can't do it Tuesday morning, blah, blah, blah. And then he went in dictatorial mode and stuff. I was like, I get it. You're protecting him from me.
Yeah, I ain't even funny.
Bro, I love Irony, bro. Irony is hilarious, bro. Hey, the world is stacked against Irony, bro. Let him tell it, man. Everybody against Irony. He fighting the world, man. Yeah, he mad at that mentality, hey. I believe it. You're going to conquer it, too. You're going to conquer the world. Yo, he said, Isaiah said, what did he say? WBC is the nastiest one, allowing Canelo to not fight David or Benavidez or Burrell is disgusting. I mean, like I said, WBA is doing it right now with Inoue as well, and Akhmadaliev. I do think that it's I don't know about Burrell, but like I said, I don't know, man. We just gotta, if we're gonna be critical of that, man, we just gotta keep the same energy. That's all.
Yep.
For everybody, that's all. I don't think like I said, like Oscar said, there was no for Shushu, there was no fouling, no motion. David Benavidez, he didn't do what he was supposed to do, you know, and then the WBC didn't do their part either to enforce it because, you know, they
because
get that
Suleiman is Canelo's B. That's why.
They get money, man. They
That's
get
a
big
fact,
bread.
bro. That's the thing.
Canelo
right
pimping.
Hey.
No, I don't think it's his bitch. I think it just makes them the most amount of money because it's not just the WBC, it's everybody.
That's a fact.
Can we talk about something else?
And one thing too, the IBF's not exempt either. They just happen to push it. They just happen to do the what was right for William Scull, but they've all been guilty of that. He's still better than most fighters, but man, Canelo 4 years ago he quarters William Scull. He called him Willie. He just had to chase wide nose Willie from running around 12 rounds. Facts, bro. Yeah, I think so. This is what I'm hoping, man, because I've been saying this for a while. I said the same thing since Canelo fought Charlo. I said, man, I don't think that it's not that he can't get the people out of there. It's just that he's so accustomed to knowing he's a veteran, man, and he knows who he is. He knows his position well. So he knows I think he knows situation. I think he has great situational awareness. So he knows when he doesn't have to step on the gas. But I'm not going to lie. Against William Scull, to me, that's the first time that, to me, he looked kind of vulnerable, man. So I hope it's just the former and not the latter. I hope it's just that he knew that William Scull can't beat him like that. He's like, man, shit, if you want to run, I ain't gonna chase you like you my son. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be right here chasing you like
yeah,
you know,
that was really
so.
bad. Like, as much as people give Canelo crap, and I'm not one to defend Canelo, but bro, I'm like, bro, what the fuck did William Scull do? Like, honestly, like seriously, like you gotta fucking at least.
It's either one or
like
the other to me. It's either people are blaming Canelo too much or Scull too much.
Yes, you got to blame both of them. But go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar, what were you saying, Oscar?
No, I was saying why one can't get blamed. One was blamed when Crawford for Madrimov. They said Crawford ain't have it, this and that, because he couldn't stop him and all this stuff. They said everything. But a lot of fighters, they do that. But certain fighters, they blame it on other fighters. Then it could be either fighter. It can't be Canelo. We talking about the greatest fighter right now if you let people tell it.
Right.
So he's supposed to figure out everything in the ring, because if you let people tell it before the fight, he's the greatest, the most IQ, this and that. But it don't matter when Canelo don't knock people out no more. None of this stuff matters to Canelo. None of it. You know, because he ain't knocked nobody out, because he ain't sent him out. But if that was another fighter, even with Tank with a draw, they was going crazy, because you get what I'm saying? So that what I be meaning by I'm just saying, when you that great out the ring, you got to be that great in the ring. You can't get in the ring and then people start giving you excuses of why you didn't do what you do or do what you supposed to did. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I think they paper fighters today, man. And I think it be BS, man. You in a big screen, this and that, such and such and such. So now, if someone was to say, "Oh, nah, if that was Crawford, it'd be a different story," and then Canelo would be super great again. He'd be super great again. He'd have all the answers again. Do you get what I'm saying? If you say, "Oh man, the way he fought Scull," that would be like, well, that's Crawford. He'll fight different, and this, and it'll be a whole snowball of BS. You know what I mean? When we looking at the way he's been fighting in the past fights, not just this one, the past fights, and he's still,
Since Billy Joe.
I can't hear you.
Since Billy Joe.
He said since Billy Joe. Since Billy Joe.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like, but that's what I be saying with Canelo. That's why I say he pimping the game. Canelo pimping like a motherfucker, man. He pimping. He don't get no slack. He don't get nothing for nothing he do. I will be rocking if I was Canelo. Let me ask you a question, Doc. Do you think Canelo made more than Mayweather by now, or is he still behind? I'm just about boxing, boxing, not like outside promotions.
Right. I think
I thought about that yesterday. Yeah.
I think he's still behind, but I don't know. Like, I think I saw a graphic about how much Floyd made, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it said that he's still the highest earning boxer from just boxing. Okay. Yeah. So I think I saw that graphic a couple weeks ago.
Canelo taking for a minute now. He's been taking for a minute.
Yeah, but I still think he's behind because, like, I think like, you know, Floyd had the, you know, that Oscar one, then he even had the Canelo one that did a lot. Then he had the Conor McGregor one, so then he had the Manny Pacquiao one. You know, so I think he's still, just from boxing earnings alone, I think he's still behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that yesterday. I was like, yo, I said, damn.
When it's all said and done, he might surpass him. I think when it's all said and
done. Yeah, he might surpass him.
Yeah, when it's all been done, I think he might surpass him just in boxing, just like revenue for boxing, nothing outside.
Right.
Yeah, he probably will. He said, Canelo
outside he probably already surpassed him.
Yeah, he got a lot of businesses. He said Canelo said Scull apologized to him. Yeah, I saw that. That was funny, man. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. So I agree with what Osher said, and we can see it right now in real time. It's like certain fighters get more flack, but I do blame both. You know, I blame Canelo. I blame Scull. I blame Scull more, just like with, you know, slightly more. I blame Jermaine Ortiz slightly more, but I blame Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? But so the runner's always going to look worse, and they should get more of the slack. Even with Devin Haney and Carlos Ramirez, I blame Devin Haney more. But at the same time, The difference is Devin Haney knew his position and he won. Canelo knows his position and he wins. So it's different when you're the guy that's trying to take the crown, like Jermaine Ortiz was Teofimo, William Scull, and Canelo, and you're not able to execute your game plan. And then we say, oh, well, his opponent didn't allow him to. Bitch, that's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to allow him to actually, whether we like it visually or not, he's not supposed to. So I think if you're blaming both fighters, like Oster said, then it's okay to blame Scull and Canelo. But if you're blaming one fighter, like Oster also said, then then you have to keep the same energy with everybody. Only blame one fighter in the other case too. Yeah, it's disingenuous, man. So I don't think that you could just blame William Scull, but I do think, for me personally, if I had to put it in percentage, I say like 60-40. William Scull, you know what I'm saying? More he gets more of the blame.
Yeah, I agree 1,000,000%. Maybe even
like
more
that.
than that.
Yeah, maybe even like 70-30, but Canelo doesn't get away with not being blamed. Teofimo doesn't get away with not getting the blame. Same with Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur. Neither one of them get away with not being blamed, So, do I blame Edwin De Los Santos slightly more? Yeah, and I tell you why. Even though he's an aggressor and Shakur is considered the quote-unquote runner, I blame him more because Edwin De Los Santos was the one whose game plan was disrupted. Shakur, not calling him a runner, but Shakur is an evasive fighter, to put it nicely. So he was being evasive. Edwin De Los Santos was the one that's supposed to run down on you. I mean, he ran down on him in his hood. Didn't he pull up on him in the hood at his crib in Newark or whatever, New Jersey? So you gonna pull up on him outside the ring, but you're not gonna pull up on him in the ring? When you supposed to? You see? So I blame Edwin De Los Santos slightly more. So, and to me, the reason why I blame Jermaine Ortiz more, not just because he's running only, but because I've never seen up until that point Jermaine Ortiz fight like that. I used to like Jermaine Ortiz a lot. I always gave him kudos for his performance he put on against Loma. I've never seen him fight like that. So there's a reason why you're fighting like that, and that's primarily because the guy's standing across from you. You don't want that pressure. So it is what it is. I'm not saying that you got to go in there and fight his fight, but you got to make sure you win. If you're going to put on a shitty performance, you have to win. And Canelo put on a shitty performance, but he won. Devin Haney, shitty performance, but he won. Teofimo won. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to get less of the flack, in my opinion. But Devin Haney's not getting less of the blame. That's the difference. What Osher's talking about. Sorry. I'm about to let you go. Sorry. But Devin Haney's not getting, he won and he's getting more of the blame. That's the difference. But go ahead, Ari.
About Shakur, my thing with Shakur is that
same with Shakur as well.
Just engage. If he would just engage in spots like Floyd did. Floyd was so freaking smart, bro. Because I keep telling people, like you're watching Floyd and you're saying the defense. And you're saying he's a runner. No, bro, watch closely because he engages in spots. Like he gives you reasons to believe that he will go toe to toe. He's just really smart with it. Like he did that. But you gotta do that at least in spots, bro. Because otherwise, bro, people have all the right to say what they're saying. And as much as I hate to admit it.
Yeah, I mean,
as skilled as you are, you gotta engage every now and then, bro. It can't be. That's not gonna, bro. You're gonna have to do it regardless, bro. You're gonna see a Tank Davis. You're gonna have to fucking engage, whether you like it or not.
But see, and that's the thing, though. See, that's the part I disagree with because what if he's able to do that against Tank? There's no telling. He might be able to do that successfully against Tank. But number two, I don't think we can complain until. I mean, you can always complain. First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling him a boring fighter. That's your preference. What you find exciting and boring is up to you. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't think you could do is take it further than that. Like he might be boring, you may not like him, but he's not trash. That's the part that I object to. When we equate excitement with being good or not, he's still an undefeated champion. So I personally don't believe any fighter should switch up their style to appease anybody. You know what I'm saying? They gonna like you, they're not. But what I will say is that you don't get mad when the consequences are people calling you boring, or the consequences are people not buying your show, or maybe you might not get booked, or you know what I'm saying? That's the part. You can't. I mean, it is what it is. It comes with it. It's like Tim Duncan. I never heard Tim Duncan complain about being called a big fundamental. I never heard Tim Duncan complain about not being as exciting as Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So because it's a team sport and stuff like that, and people are loyal to the team.
No, I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So right. So if you're gonna be one way, then be that.
Every now and then.
Right.
Tim Duncan will look in your face every now and then. And
Shakur would get a KO every now and then. He just KO'd Josh Patton. So you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is the same thing though. I feel it's the same thing when it comes to the team sport too, because it's a team sport, but it's the individual players. Right. And they all got their individual positions. So you don't compare Tim Duncan to Tim Hardaway. You compare him to Kevin Garnett. You compare him to a Shaq. You get what I'm saying? And so you do. So you don't see Tim Duncan sitting there and end up going crazy trying to bully Shaq down low. And
Right.
he will never do that because he gonna beat him the way he beat him. And
Right.
Shaq gonna do what he do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's when it comes to personal. So when it comes to the fighters, like I say, because boxing is simply different, you know, you in the ring. So that's why I said if somebody's in there running, then he running. So if you can't stop one runner, you can't talk about another runner. But if there's a style to stop a runner, which is a cut the ring off, so somebody takes some of the weight. I don't really give the runner too much thing because obviously he ain't there scared running. He in it with somebody that's better than him. Obviously, he knew this before he got in there. So this could have been his whole plan. That's why I say the professional one, the one that's the top one, they know this. You know this. So when you don't indulge, I give the best fighter the more of the you know, more of the slack more of the slack than a fighter. That's just me.
Of the doubt.
What about Devin?
See, that's what I'm saying. With Devin was running, but Devin always runs. So that fight there, I blame on Devin. I don't blame it on Ramirez, dude he fought. I don't blame it on him. I blame it on Devin.
You're right, Ramirez.
You know what I mean? I blame it on Devin for real because, like I told you, Devin was the one. Devin had to win the fight. Devin was the one with the most, like, the most on his shoulder in that whole card.
Make a statement. Like we all agree with that. He needed to make a statement. And
he needed to make a statement. So he didn't do it at all.
But maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt until next fight. You know, because it is his first fight, you know, back. So I don't know. I'll give him.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the point. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving the benefit. I'm just not. Because that's why they soft today. This is why they're getting soft today. Because people keep giving them the benefit of the doubt for fights that there's no benefit of doubt in the ring. That dude ain't giving you no benefit of doubt in the ring. There's no benefit of doubt in the ring.
Where I'm coming from is because I don't like Devin too much either. But what I'm saying is he's been out for like a year. You know, those type of layoffs. You know, you kind of have to, bro. You kind of have to give him like, you know what? Let me see one more out of you. If you do this shit again, then I'm probably done with you.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Wait, before you change it, let Oscar get in because Oscar's trying to get in a couple times. Go ahead, Oscar.
No, what I was gonna say is like, okay, then Devin's supposed to make a statement. The reason I give Scull most of the flag is because that fight was very easily winnable for Scull. Just counter him when he was swinging with that left hook and he was right open. Just counter him there. Tag him 1-2, and then we can talk about a robbery. So
I respect that.
So it's like you said Devin had to make a statement. Scull had the opportunity to make a statement and he didn't want to. So and they were both running. So where's the line drawn
so
there?
I'm saying this. Like he just said, I don't know who was talking because I'm on the other screen. But he said Dev, you'll give Dev slack because he was out a year. Yeah, because he got out a year. So what I'm saying, irony, is only reason that I disagree with that, but I'm gonna say this because I don't agree with what I'm about to say. I'm just gonna say that if that's the case, we can give Ryan slack for being out a year. If that's the case, that's why I say there's no slack. They both in there for a thing, Ryan.
Right, but the difference is, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm really sorry.
No, get.
The reason why I don't think we can give Ryan the benefit of the doubt is because Ryan didn't get dropped 3 times by somebody doped. That was, how do you say it, like doped up, whatever, like with drugs in their system, with PEDs in their system. Like,
but I was trying to.
Go ahead.
No, get.
I know that was it. Like you know, like the reason it's not only that he was out for a year, because you can be injury, maybe you can have a personal issue. I don't know. Like many things can cause you to be out for a year or whatever. But in Devin's case, he got dropped 3 times by a dude that was doped up. And he never, if I'm not mistaken, he was close to be dropped by Linares, but that's about it. Like he never got dropped before, not even once. So
you're right.
He got dropped 3 times. So I mean, come on, bro. How many questions?
I 100% respect what you're saying. I respect it 100%. What I'm saying is, like I just said about, I'm not giving nobody no excuses. I'm just saying based on inactivity for a year, not nothing else. Based on inactivity, you can give Ryan the same thing. Conor Ben was out 2 years and he did damn good. So he acted like he fought 3 months ago. So there's difference, and when you can look around, we can look around and pick and choose a bunch of stuff. That's why I don't give none of that when you get in the ring. And I don't care what's going on out the ring. If you're not 100% getting in there, don't get in there and waste my money, waste my time, yours too, and everybody's time. So we can sit here. We'd rather talk about a good fight than you running. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to speak for that. That's all I'm saying. I understand we all go through shit. Doc go through some shit and he said, I can't get on live. Had me mad. I'm bursting with information. His motherfucker ain't coming up. Like,
I appreciate
man?
it.
I'm bursting with information. Like, what's going on, man?
That's funny, bro. And we on a good streak right now, though, bro. I ain't need to take Sunday off, man. Come on, man. We've been pumping it out, man.
I know.
Nah, shout out to Oster,
Yeah,
though. That was a good
like, yo,
point,
Doc, what's up, man?
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I appreciate that, bro. I will say one little minor correction though. Conor Ben, he fought. He has been out for 2 years, man. They've been saying he's been away from English fighting, but he fought. Remember, he fought in America. He fought Adolfo or Roscoe, something like that, and then he also fought Peter Dobson, 2024 and 2023.
That's why, Doc. That's why I never talk without you behind me, kid.
I appreciate
I tell you every time, kid. You got my back every time.
But I do agree with what Oster said, because that's what I'd be even if I disagree, but I agree, because like I said, I be valuing, in my personal opinion, not everybody's the same, but I value the logic, man. And what he's saying is that I don't care. Like, a time off is time off. So whether you time off because you are coming off a loss, or time off because you got cheated, or time off because you're injured, it's still time off. So he's not giving anybody slack, because then he has to consider giving other people slack. However, I will say, so I agree with that, but I will agree with the irony part is because Devin Haney is coming off of what was perceived as a loss. And it's always interesting to see how somebody bounce back from a loss, especially a loss where it's devastating. You get brutalized, you know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't a loss, but he did get brutalized. So he has some questions about his chin. And to me, that could be seen in his fighting style against Ramirez. And I do think that that's something to consider. But what I agree with Oster is that I don't know if it's time, because I don't think that's going to change. I think he's going to be afraid to get hit in his next fight as well. But that's the thing, but I'm different, because I always thought that Devin Haney, you know me, I'm not saying I'm not a big Devin Haney fan because I'm trying to knock him. That's just the truth. I never really been a big fan of Devin Haney because I never liked his style. Like, I always thought that he kind of fought scared. I didn't think he fought this scared, you know what I'm saying, as Ramirez, but or as he seemed scared. I'm not gonna say he was scared, but he seemed scared, you know. So to me, this looked extra. I feel like you can't watch that fight and be like, man, something's not on his mind. However, I do think that it's wrong to not say what it was too. He won that fight comfortably. I don't care if you like him or not. He won that fight comfortably, and that's the goal. The goal is to win. It's not to be exciting. It's not to get a knockout. It's not to get you talking about it. All that stuff helps your profile. It helps people want to see you again, your desirability, but all it is to win. He won damn convincingly. On my scorecard, right. He won 11 rounds to 1. So what are we talking about? You know,
man, he did good. That's why I said I wasn't disagreeing about Oscar. I was just like, I don't get.
No, I know.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I just don't.
I was just adding to it. Yeah, I was just adding to it.
What about Scull though?
Bro, I'm not mad at Scull. Bro, you hear me talking
about? No. I'm not saying that like because you said like Canelo should take more of the blame. Then I was like, well, he used Devin Haney and he was running.
Right.
And I think it should be both of them, because Canelo looked like trash.
And we seen that Scull had the opportunities to look good. He just didn't take them.
Right.
Because Canelo had plenty of gaps in his game. Saturday, he was leaving himself open, but rather than countering him or tying him up, he would just rather get out. That's why I blame both. I say Canelo couldn't, and Scull didn't want to.
I agree.
Because Scull had the opportunity to look great, but he didn't want to.
Yep. And I will also say this too. I saw Jose. I don't know. I'm trying to pull it up. Let's see. I saw somewhere that Jose Carlos Ramirez said, "Hold on, man. I lost my fight." And I was a Canelo role. He said, "How the heck did Canelo win?"
Guys, I gotta say this. I gotta say this right here. As much as flack as the little divisions get, how ironic is that the most little guy in the whole freaking card got the best fight, bro. Out of the whole freaking weekend. How ironic is that, bro?
Yeah, you
I mean, that little guy happens to be one of the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Like, we're not talking about just nobody here, obviously, but But man, just props, bro. Major fucking props.
Major props, but I can't say that without saying that he had the easiest matchup too, though. Yeah, that has to be considered, in my opinion.
I look
that
at
easiest
I look
matchup
at
got him dropped, bro.
So what does that mean? That means that he's the weakest fighter then. That doesn't mean that doesn't change the fact that it was an easy matchup.
No, that means that sometimes the fighter that got the less to lose is the most dangerous one.
And he's still
That's
the
what that
easiest
means.
one. And it's still the easiest one.
Yeah, no, it's the easiest one on paper.
Okay.
That's undeniable.
On paper,
No.
he
It's
didn't
easy.
have
No.
to
And on paper, in the sky, in the ground, in the water, and on space, that was the easiest matchup. Stop it, bro. We're not doing that, man. I like Ramon Cardenas. He showed heart, and shout out to Naya Inoue. He showed adversity. But let's be honest. Jose Carlos Ramirez is what? He's a former Olympian, former champion. Rolly Romero is a 2-time champion. Yeah. Teofimo is a current champion, lineal champion, former lineal champion, and a current champion, and a former unified champion. What's the name? William Scull is an undefeated champion right now. Cardenas is literally what they call him. They're calling him a Lyft driver, a Uber driver. So we cannot all of a sudden say, oh, because you struggle with him, oh, I'm impressed. No, there was nothing impressive from Naya Inoue in that fight. Let's be honest. Not from my perspective. The impressive part came from Cardenas.
I'm talking about the fight itself.
Yes, the fight was exciting, but let's not confuse the two, right? It's like Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti, rest in peace. That was a trilogy, not because that was an example of two best fighters. It was a trilogy because it was exciting. So nothing about that trilogy makes me feel like Mickey Ward or Arturo Gatti would beat Miguel Cotto or Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. So that's what I'm saying. So let's not conflate those things. That was a great fight and it was an exciting fight because of the matchmaking. It wasn't exciting because he was fighting a high caliber opponent. If I said Ramon Cardenas up until yesterday, people would say, who the heck? They don't know who that is. And then now we only know him as a guy that fought Inoue. Let's be honest. Jose Carlos Ramirez, he could stand on his own. Devin Haney could stand on his own. Teofimo could stand on his own. Barbosa could stand on his own. He just beat Catterall. William Scull's a champion right now that was undefeated until he lost to Canelo. He could stand on his own. Canelo could stand on his own. Ramon Cardenas, you don't know him unless you attach him to Naya Inoue. So if anybody was not supposed to be dropped, it was Naya Inoue. Even Rolly Romero dropping Ryan Garcia should be more. We should expect that more than we should expect Cardenas dropping Inoue. We got to be honest. You know, we can't call Josh, and that's what makes it even worse. That makes it even worse.
This was a hell of a weekend for a left hook. I'm telling you, left hook scored the whole weekend. Like it was on that left hook. It was something about that left hook.
As I'm telling you, but I will agree with what I want to be very clear. That was the most exciting fight, and I give him kudos for that. But I could argue that Edward Vasquez was a higher caliber opponent than Ramon Cardenas for Rafael Espinosa.
Yeah,
could I not? That's what I'm saying. Probably. So we got to say the whole thing. You know, I know that you're coming from a good place because you actually watch boxing. But a lot of these guys I see all over the place say, "Oh, Naya Inoue say boxing, he did all this stuff." Naya Inoue you could argue he probably shouldn't even been touched by Ramon Cardenas. Of course, it's boxing, and you know, but let's just be honest. If we take,
not really known for his defense though, bro.
Right?
Like, that's not his.
Right.
You know,
I agree. But let's okay. So let's say this, right? Let's say okay. You know, let's say I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a good example. But let me just say this: Ramon Cardenas, T.J. Doheny, Yi Jun Kim, and Louis Neary. If you take those caliber opponents and put them on Usyk, people are going to complain because people are complaining about Usyk fighting Dubois in a rematch. I'm just saying. If you take those same caliber opponents and you put them in front of Terrence Crawford, people are going to complain because they complained about Terrence Crawford fighting the undefeated Israel Madrimov, who's a champion in his debut at a new weight class.
We can run it real quick.
Bro, we just saw people complain about William Scull. The guy just said that the IBF should be punished for making Canelo fight William Scull or trying to make him fight William Scull. William Scull is an undefeated champion. But then that same person is telling me that Ramon Cardenas is a good opponent for Naya Inoue. Naya Inoue is best 1, 2, or 3. That's a terrible opponent. That's a terrible opponent.
The comparison with Bud Crawford is a bit unfair because people are so irrationally unfair.
That's
Bud
true.
Crawford.
That's
like
true.
Hilariously unfair.
That's true.
With him.
Yes.
But that's my point though. That even furthers my point. You know what I'm saying? If anybody else that was a top 1, 2, 3 guy pound for pound, not even 1, 2, 3. If Bivol was fighting that, if Tank was fighting that, Canelo, Bud, Usyk, David Benavidez, if anybody fought the caliber of opponents that Inoue had his last 3 or 4 fights, they would be talking trash. It is
Bro,
what it is.
Bivol is fighting the number 2 guy in his division.
And people are complaining about a trilogy. Bruh. I'm telling you, brother, this is just the facts. People will hear this and say, oh, you hate on Inoue. No, there's nothing. What did I say that was false?
No, you're saying the truth, brother. That's undeniable. I'm just saying that I don't know. I hate it when people go into that resume revision.
I agree.
Crawford, because it's so disingenuous.
But they do it all the time. But they don't. Right. That I agree with that. I agree with you. Trust me. But because they do it, well, I feel like it's my responsibility to bring some clarity.
Yeah.
It's
either all or nothing.
Right.
All
Thank
or
you.
nothing.
Thank you.
Like, let's be honest. They say
Madrimov was a bad win. Errol Spence is only a good win about, but
come on now.
Usyk, they're complaining he's not fighting an interim.
Come on
not
now.
A fool.
Yeah. They complain about him not fighting Joseph Parker. Come on now. But he's fighting Daniel Dubois. It's not like he's not fighting Joseph Parker and he's fighting David Allen. No disrespect, David Allen. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Or some shit.
Yeah, right. Or Chisora or something. Right. Exactly. He's fighting, or Jermaine Franklin. He's fighting a champion, bro.
Exactly.
Like the comparison I would make, like with less opponents, it'd be if Usyk fights Frank Sanchez.
Right.
For real, because TJ wasn't ranked.
Yep.
And then whenever
did they make that fight, if he was number 15.
Yep.
And Jim Jones King, I can't give him too much slack. He was a late replacement.
It was a late replacement, right? But that's the thing, though. You can, because why? Don't they say the same about Shakur? But don't they say the same about Shakur? Oh, he just fought an electrician. But they conveniently omit that was a late replacement, don't they?
But he was a replacement. Exactly. He was. It's not like that was the plan all along.
Right. But that's what Oscar just said, though. It shot to Oscar.
Cordina or something.
No, it was Kid Austin. It was Kid Austin. Yeah, right. And exactly. Yeah. So, but that's what Oscar just said. And shout out to Oscar. Oscar said, I cannot hold it against them because we're honest boxing fans. But a lot of these boxing fans that are big content creators that spew this nonsense, they don't. They don't consider the fact that Yi Ju Kim. They do consider the fact that Yi Ju Kim was a late replacement because they like Inoue. Because it's like I said, it's almost treason if you talk about Inoue. But then with Shakur Stevenson, they don't say, oh, Josh Padley was a late replacement. They just say, oh, he fought an electrician.
And Padley was a higher caliber opponent.
Come on now. And right now they're saying that he saved boxing this weekend. No one's saying that he saved boxing against an Uber driver. No one's saying that, bro. Okay.
Yeah, they're selective with the
very selective to the point it's disgusting, bro. Man. It's disgusting, bro. That's why people don't like my channel, because I say that they say, "Oh, you hate on Inoue." I mean, I didn't think it was hating, to tell the truth. Shout out to that was the most exciting fight this weekend. I give it all the credit. I do applaud him for showing. But nah, you don't think it was pushing through adversity? That was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope that he got knocked down and he showed the warrior spirit and he's gonna fight. You know, I love it. It's exciting, but I'm not gonna confuse excitement with a high quality opponent. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not
if you take that into account, then it has to be Aldovino, or it has to be.
That's a good point.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Oscar. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but
what do you say?
But I am gonna watch it.
He said if you consider the quality of the opponent, then you got to give it to Aldovino, and I agree with that. Edward Vasquez, I think, is a better opponent than Ramon Cardenas. And there's no disrespect to Ramon Cardenas. Like I said, I'm impressed. I want to see Ramon Cardenas again. Yeah. But I saw him before, though. So that didn't shock me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't shock me that he had hearts and nuts and guts and cojones and everything else like synonymous with courage. He had all that.
Again.
That didn't shock us because we watch boxing.
Again, a guy from his promotion called him trash. He said he knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Yep.
This guy comes pro box. He was like, I know Cardenas is going to lose, but he don't have it. He don't have it like that, but he's going to show hard. Mm-hmm. But we know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And he dropped him. And he's like, I told y'all. I'm like, didn't tell shit. You don't believe on your guys.
Right. You don't believe
on his guys.
The same thing he did with Lamar Roach, too. Lamar Roach is his guy. He said there was going to be, he equated him to fighting a bum off the street at a red light, asking for change.
Yep.
Oscar, you're going to love this. The 2 times Naoya has been dropped had been the 2 Mexican fighters he's fought.
I like it. I mean, I don't really care about that. I don't really care about nationality.
No, I'm just pointing that out. I wasn't like implying anything. I was just I just think it's worth pointing out. Like he's what 30-0.
Yeah, he's been dropped by Cardboard
I appreciate y'all, gentlemen, man, for real. I can't say that enough, man. Because like sometimes I'll be wandering through these YouTube streets and jungles and hearing nonsense, man. And like I said, it don't matter if we agree, bro.
Yeah,
I just love the fact that we speak openly and we have conversations, and even if we have different opinions, it's not like, you know, it's not logical. Like right just now, like we may not agree. I still don't think Irony agrees with me. I think he understands what I'm saying, but I don't think he agrees with me, and that's okay. But I do think that he understands. You know what I'm saying?
99% of the time with you.
Exactly, right. And same with Oster. You know, Oscar and Irony about the year thing and not giving the year thing. I think we understand each other's points, even if we disagree. But a lot of times people just, you get so caught up trying to get your point off that you don't even make sense. We are able to understand because we are, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It's logical. And that's all I ask. And I appreciate it, man.
When people get emotional with me, bro, I right away ask them, listen, can you handle disagreement or not?
Nope.
Because if you can't handle disagreement, we probably shouldn't have this type of conversation. Because
I know they can't handle it.
Nope. You can't handle the truth.
You know they can't handle it. Once they get emotional, you know they can't handle it. So sometimes it depends on how I feel. It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I give you a paper bag and I'm gonna make you throw up and just give you a bunch of knowledge that you're trying to run from. And sometimes I just want to walk away. For real. It just depends on how I feel. You know what I mean? So don't play with me.
Yep. You're right about that.
Yes,
but let me ask you a question. I believe that in boxing, you got really good boxers that can. You got boxers in the ring. Tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. Boxers in the ring that, if I'm saying it right, boxers in the ring that can survive and win, and there's some boxers in the ring that's just good enough to survive, but not win.
Yeah.
Like I always say this, like a Madrimorph with Crawford. Madrimorph is good enough to survive, but not win. Shakur is good enough to survive and win. Scull is good enough to survive and not win. Some of these fighters is really good, but it's a certain other level that you're getting in with another top competition. Man, and then you got to either be a survivor and a winner, or you just got to survive.
That's a good.
And that be the flip, and that be the flip in the fight. You be like you said, Doc, about Scull. You was like, yo. I mean, I think it was Oscar said like he could have really won the fight if he fought.
He could have.
But in his brain, he just thought he had to survive at a certain point. And I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Because you just cut it off and just start running around the ring. You be like, yo, we be bugging. I'm like, yo, what's up? You didn't see what you was just doing?
Bro.
Like, what happened?
I'm going to tell you my scorecard,
What I missed?
Let me tell you my scorecard real quick.
My bad.
No, go ahead, Oscar, while I find my scorecard.
Like, if we seen that fight, Oster and Doc, I don't know, Irony, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Scull and Canelo.
No, not yet.
Okay, don't watch it. But how many times did we see Canelo throw a right hook or a left hook and got stuck in the corner for like a split second, and Scull, rather than capitalizing on it, he just put his hands up and back up.
For some reason, you be like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Bro,
so and you see Dev could survive and win. If y'all was seeing how Dev was like 2 feet away from him from the ring, and when he started swinging, you see Dev took 2 feet to hold him. Yo, you see that every time?
Yep.
It was a clear sign of I'm not even getting into that.
Yep. So
he had to take like a step and a half to hold him.
Right.
I'm like, yo, nobody see this? Like, what the fuck?
He was like lunging in, and if shout out to Ramirez, if he could just got like a short uppercut in there, he could have messed up Devin's whole night. He just couldn't pull the trigger. So shout out to Ramirez. I like Ramirez, but I just wish he could have did a little bit better, man. But shout out to both of them. But yeah, I definitely think that fight was stanky, man. But yeah, my scorecard for Canelo Scull, I had it 7 rounds to 5, 115-113. Rounds 1 I gave to Scull, 2 I gave to Canelo, 3-4 I gave to Scull, 5 I gave to Canelo, 6 rounds I gave to Scull. So through 6 I had Scull up 4-2, and then after round 7, Scull didn't win another round. I gave 8 through 12 to Canelo because, like Oscar said, he just stopped punching. Like he prioritized moving around and not throwing punches back. Like you can't win like that, bro. Come on now. Yeah, so and
his corner was like, bailale, salte de ahí, salte de ahí.
Right.
And I mean, dance it.
Right.
Get out of there. Like, bro, what you mean get out of there? You have him right there, perfect spot. Just throw a cross.
Just throw a cross. Just throw a jab. 2 jabs. Bro, if he would have fought like Bivol was fighting Beterbiev, he probably would have won.
Bro.
I'm trying to tell you.
Bivol's in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, but that's the thing about when you score fights as they should be each round, then it's like, bro, I wasn't worried about it. I ain't gonna lie. When we got to 6 rounds, I was like, dang, Canelo got to step up. I think I said that. But then once I saw how it was turning, I was like, oh no, he's good, because Scull is just it's gonna bite you. Yeah, judges are gonna see, people are gonna see that you're not trying to fight. You got to remember, it's a fight. You don't have to sit in the pain and fight. There's different ways you can execute it, your game plan and stuff like that. You can execute your game plan and stuff like that, but you still have to, you can't seem like you don't want to fight. Boxing is a fighting style. It is a fight. Karate is a fighting style. Still a fight. Wrestling is still you cannot have a fight without engaging at some type of magnitude. You know, so you got to engage in some type of capacity, bro. Like, you were literally not engaging to the point where it did seem like you were running. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. But let me tackle this comment real quick.
Tell you guys something.
Go ahead. And then after that, I'm gonna tackle this comment because I think it's a very good comment from
we were talking before you dropped by and said hi last night, and we were talking, and I was laughing later because the Kendrick was like, "Oh, he hurt. Oh, he's hurt," and I'm like, "Who's he, bro? Who's he?"
Yo, Kendrick funny, yeah. Kendrick, oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. Oh man,
he knew that I wasn't watching it. I told him, like, I just got home from work. I'm just listening to you guys, and he's hurt. He got who's he, bro? God damn it! Tell me who's he.
He's about to go.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, well put, Oster. That's a fact. Yeah, shout out to Dub. That's a fact, man. He was cooking on that one. And he said, BR says, Inoue's been my favorite fighter for about 4 years now. Not mad at you. He said, these casual fans turning me away from him. It's always the fans that makes it bad for the athletes. Exactly, BR. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with liking Inoue. But when we lie, we cannot fabricate things. Like, same with Tank, bro. I'm a Tank fan too. But I told people, I said, bro, I don't want him to fight Lamont Roach. You see what I'm saying? Like it's okay that I like him and to be disappointed. I don't like Tank to the point where I say, oh, he shouldn't have got deducted points. I don't like Canelo to the point where I say, oh, he shouldn't cut off the ring. We can still critique our favorite fighters and they still remain our favorite fighters. I come from a standpoint to where I think that we actually like them more than these goofies. It's because we actually watch them and appreciate them and celebrate them. It's just that they're just fanatics about it, and they're like, they like them as like a partner. Like to date them. We just like them and appreciate their work. You know what I'm saying? Their body of work and what they do, you know? So we actually pay more attention to the ones that are I don't want to say we're emotionally invested too, because, you know, boxing is an intimate sport as far as, you know, you feel attached to your fighter, but we're not emotional to the point where we want to date them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some of these people, they they like they baby mamas or something. Yeah.
Stuff that's just wrong, bro.
Right.
Like wrong.
Right.
Like I was saying the other day about Ryan. Like, you tell me that you still like Ryan, but don't tell me that you're okay with this other stuff.
Right. Don't tell me he didn't cheat. Don't tell me he got set up. Don't tell me PDs don't matter. It's okay to like Ryan. It's like, that's cool.
I still like him because of this and this. Like, you can do that. You know?
Right.
Those are the kind of people that like your car. They don't like you.
Yep. Exactly. Because as soon as Inoue lose, they're going to turn it back on him. As soon as Inoue lose. Or people who feel like that, whoever, as soon as their favorite fighter loses.
Oh, just because he stopped Cardenas, but if Inoue would have stopped him, like if it would have gone to the decision, they would have been talking shit about him.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
And it did help Inoue that the other two cards were
like the main event on Canelo was a stinker.
Yep.
And the Friday card was, you know, lackluster, underwhelming.
Yep.
But the styles, like, you know how I feel. But it did help Inoue to be like, oh my God.
Yep. The moment. Yep. The combination of all the disappointments and then you got a good. Like I said, I'm not saying, when I say matchmaking, I'm not saying that Cardenas is a gimme. You know how I feel about that. I don't think anybody's a gimme. Like, he did knock him down, but also, we have to know that matchmaking can mean like making a good fight stylistically. It doesn't mean that, oh, it's to make somebody get a cherry pick. I'm not saying matchmaking like that. I don't think Cardenas is a cherry pick, but he's not a high quality. He's not proven. You know what I'm saying? He's not a high quality opponent. You know, it is what it is. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to him, but I'm saying like he's not a championship level, pound for pound, 1, 2, or 3 level opponent. He might be a good opponent, but he's not an opponent that's like, oh man, we should be super impressed. Like, it is what it is. Like, you should probably be disappointed that Inoue's fighting him. Now, if Inoue does this against Akhmadaliev, that is when you really should be impressed on all levels, on the fact that he won, which I think he's gonna win, But the fact that it's a high quality championship level opponent, you know, it's just like with Canelo. Same when Canelo beat Edgar Berlanga. I wasn't running around saying, "Oh yeah, man, Canelo, oh he just dropped Edgar Berlanga and he whooped Edgar." No, because that's not a high quality opponent. No disrespect to Berlanga, I like Berlanga, but he's not a high quality opponent. In fact, I think Jaime Munguia was more impressive because I think he was a higher quality opponent. Caleb Plant was the most impressive recently because that was a high championship level caliber opponent. We cannot omit these things, brother. We got to keep it honest, you know. And even with Lamont Roach, like that was not a high quality opponent for Tank. He's a champion, but he's not a high quality opponent. If you take away the familiarity that they have, of course, that means something. But as far as him being from a lower weight division, I would much rather see Tank against a guy that's like a Zepeda, who's number one, or a champion like Shakur, Keyshawn, or Loma, right? So to me, that's what I mean when I say a high quality opponent. I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm just saying they're not on the level of the guy that they're standing across the ring from. That's what I'm saying. So it's like Usyk fighting, like what'd you say earlier? I think you said Frank Sanchez right now. You know, that's not, you know, Frank Sanchez is a good fighter, but he's not a champion. He's not Dubois. He's not even Joseph Parker. He's not a Jit Caballel, you know what I'm saying, interim champion or full champion or something like that. So it's like what BR said. That's why I think that comment was so great. I like Luka Doncic. I like Jokic. I like these players, but I don't. What makes me turn off from them is when we don't talk about defense or the lack of accountability on defense. It's like James Harden. We used to kill him for not playing defense. We used to kill T-Mac for not playing defense. Carmelo, even Steve Nash. So it's not a complexions thing. We used to mention Steve Nash lack of defensive ability. We would mention Stephen Curry. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's led the league in steals before, you know, so he's played some capacity of defense, but we talk about his vulnerability on defensive end. Jokic and Doncic, we just ignore it like it's not even, it doesn't mean nothing. For me, it's hard for me to say that these guys are the best if you only play 50% of the game. This is not football, bro. You don't play wide receiver and then we switch out and put somebody else at cornerback. No, the same person. I hate the term. I know I'm kind of switching topics now, but I hate the term two-way player. Everybody should be a two-way player. Like, that's not special, bro. Everybody should play offense and defense. What are we taling about? That doesn't mean that everybody's gonna play at the same level. You know what I'm saying?
Give or take if you're a defensive player. Only defense. You could be one-way player, only defense.
Facts.
You can't be one-way offensive player.
Right. And then you at least gain my respect because at least we know that you're out there trying. So, like, no, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I think that people should be held. My point of bringing up Jokic and Doncic is not that I don't like them, is that I do like them, but it does frustrate me the lack of accountability we have when it comes to them or certain people. And that's why I think Naoya Inoue is. You know, I feel like we don't hold them to the standard of that he should be held at. He's one of the best fighters, top 1, 2, or 3 for a reason. But you cannot tell me if you're complaining about Terrence Crawford moving up in his debut at a new weight class, fighting an undefeated champion, and you complain about that. How are you not complaining about Ramon Cardenas or TJ Doheny? How? If you complained about Gervonta Tank Davis fighting a guy from a lower weight division in Lamont Roach, how are you not complaining that Nick Ball just fought a guy from a lower weight division that's come off a knockout loss in this fight before, TJ Doheny? You didn't complain about Nick Ball and TJ Doheny. So how? And he's way older. Oh, right. I appreciate it. And he's way older. So how are you not complaining about these things? You're complaining about Shakur Stevenson fighting an electrician, but you're not complaining about Inoue fighting an Uber driver. How?
By the way, let me say this to the Bozos. Just calling your dude out for something does not mean that you're, backstabbing him.
Right.
It's actually the opposite.
Right.
No, it's actually your friend. When your friend tell you your breath stink, that's your friend.
Facts.
Exactly, bro.
Like, if a dog makes a video like Edgar Berlanga, he's like, yo, dog, I'm about to post this. I'm like, nah. You
know who ain't friends? I'm telling you who ain't friends. Girls. Girls are not friends with each other. You ever seen a girl let a girl come out looking crazy?
Damn
like,
right.
You know, friend come out like that.
I'm telling
you know
you.
You dead wrong.
He
dead wrong, man.
No, he damn right.
I'm telling you, man. We got Ryan Frazier in the building, man. Big North.
I mean, I'm sorry. I was saying
good,
that you're damn right.
man?
No, you good, Ernie.
But
what's up, Brian?
But this weekend to me feel like you ever went to a championship game of basketball, y'all? Like the championship, the seventh game, right? LA versus Chicago, or whoever is up there now. You know what I mean? And the score, the ending score, the final score, y'all, is 36-41. That's how I felt this weekend. Yeah, just like that, yo. The final score, 41-36.
Yeah, it was just
so was this a good game or not? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're gonna leave.
And that's how I felt this weekend, for real.
Yeah, you're gonna leave unsatisfied. I feel that.
Yeah, you could be like here
Super
with all these
fucking let down,
everybody up
bro.
here.
Super fucking let down.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, these guys just gotta fight more. That's all it is.
Ooh.
Activities down.
Yeah, what it is. I know another thing too. You know it's not. You know that's not in these fighters no more. And I can tell you, I can say from what I'm talking about. I say Conor Ben. I say Crawford, because it's a real selective few. And maybe y'all can help me out with some more. I think today's, you know what it is now, with all that BS, is one thing that these fighters ain't got, that damn near 90% of them don't have, is that fight. They don't have that aggression. They don't have that attitude. Like they don't have it. They don't have that demeanor. They could be good fighters, but they're not like that. You know, like that lion and that tiger. They got the image for it.
I know it's just
They got the image for it, but you know, you see that Conor, you see how Crawford, how it just the whole attitude just changes. Like, and that's what I be trying to say with Crawford and Canelo. Everybody got every attribute. They size it all up, but they ain't size that aggression up. They ain't no one never said nothing about that. They never said, yo, this boy determination, his aggression is out of control. It's like he one of those motherfuckers that don't listen when it comes to fighting. Huh?
I think that's a great point, but I think your circumstances shape your diminishing of hunger or whatever. Because let's be honest here, you're fighting to better your quality of life, right? That's the end all be all of why you're doing this, right? You're not doing this because you love getting punched in the face. You're doing this because it's a way for you to generate generational wealth and everything that comes with it. So once you get there, I think kind of naturally you're not the same 16, 18-year-old, 20-year-old dude that just wanted all the smoke. It's just not the same, bro. You get civilized, you got a wife, you got a kid, you got priorities change. I think that we need to look at that. Circumstances will shape you, bro. Like there's a reason why that saying goes about the silk sheets, bro. There's a reason for that.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. What I'm saying is, that's why I said it's not all of them. Because what you're saying is 100% fact. It's definitely not all of them. It's only a certain few today. It's a certain few that money don't change them.
Yep.
That's like saying Mayweather got all the money and going to lose now. No,
Right.
Mayweather never played in the ring.
That's a great
No matter how much money he had, he never played in the ring. I'm talking about this is coming from within you, not what you made yourself of. This is who you are.
I agree.
Do you get what I'm saying? This is just who you are. You know what I mean? Some people, and it's selective few when they get in these sports, like you said, money change them, fame change them. But some people is who they are.
I agree.
And it's a selective few. And you see a lot of them, like Devin Haney is a good example. He's a good fighter. Wasn't the best. Started the Money Mayweather. I'm the next one. And you see what happened? He fell off his game. So I'm saying you 100% right what you're saying. That's why it's a selective few.
I agree.
And that's why I say, and when it comes to the sport of boxing now, and that's what I be looking at, because like you said, somebody said earlier, sometimes it's the one with the less to lose. The less the game. You know what I mean? And those be ones that be really dogs. Like, if he was an aggressor inside, it's going to be a different fight. You're not going to just walk through me because this is built in me. You know what I'm saying?
I already said that in regards to Ramon Cardenas. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I also think too, in addition to that, I mean, I know Osterman may disagree. I don't know. But I think that it's Floyd. I think that it's I do disagree with something slightly that I already said. But I do think it's like Floyd, like you said. I think it's Canelo. That's the part I think that Oster might disagree with. I think that certain guys, I think David Benavidez has that quality as well. I think that we're gonna see he's not at that level yet, so we don't know for sure. But I think that he has that quality. I think that as much as I like Tank, I'm not sure about him as far as having that quality. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to think who else I think has that quality right now as current fighters. Espinosa, I'm not sure because I don't know if he's there yet. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see because I don't think he's there as far as popularity and made it yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like guys that are
but money wise,
That's what Oh, he does have it. Okay, yeah. See, I know you know more about him than I do personally. But I was talking about in the boxing and high profile type stuff. But yeah, I think there's some people out there that have it. But also, what Irony said is that some people don't like get punched in the face. I just agree with that. I do think some people like to fight, man. Not necessarily to get punched in the part, but I think some people just love that fight, man. And they know the punch comes with it. So I don't know, man.
No, I mean some of them kept fighting after they made everything. Like
right, that's my point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao too, coming back at 40. He loves
exactly.
it.
But Manny Pacquiao, I think, has economic issues.
He might. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've heard that. But
I don't think it's fair to put it that way, as if money changed you. It's that this is the goal and I have attained it, so I don't have to put it all on the line now because I did put it all on the line and I got here. So now we need to keep our sanity for our life post boxing, bro. Like you got to think about this shit.
Right.
No, but I'm saying you're 100% right. You're 100% right with that. I was just saying that with that attitude, like with the boxers, boxing is one of those sports where you're not contracted. You don't come in here with like an $80 million contract and then you could be a flop. So everything you do in boxing, you get more money. So when when it comes to that, when it comes like that, when you getting paid from a amateur, you coming in now, you fighting up, survive your family, and you get up now, but you still in the game. You know what I mean? You still in the game because the average boxer start at what, 7, 8. So if you really good, you see like Tank and them, you really good. They only 30-0. They got some years left. But sometimes money, it'll start to affect that. I 100% agree with that. But like I said, there's certain fighters that it's in them.
But I will say this too to add to
that ring.
I think with the boxing, because it's such a violent, it's a hurt game, it's a violent sport, we kind of think it's just that, right? I think that's applicable to other sports as well. It's like basketball, right? Like you said, there's some people that get that full contract and then they're good. They're like, okay, bet I don't really need to train as hard. As much as I know Oster may disagree with me again, but like LeBron could have been stopping. He don't have to play.
I agree with you.
LeBron has that drive, bro. He has that drive to want to be the best, whether he's achieving it, whatever. Some people's opinion. I think he's one of the best. I think he's. I got Jordan above him, of course. Talking about GOATs, but as far as being one of the best and having that drive, you can't question LeBron. You can't. Steph Curry, he's another one. It's 100%. Not about money. You know what I'm saying? So some of these people, it's not even just like boxing or whatever. Obviously, you're punching on each other, but some people is just they do it for the glory. Some people really do it for the glory. And the side piece is that, hey man, while I'm going for glory, I could get compensated stupendously. You know what I'm saying? But it's for the glory.
I agree.
Tom Brady's a good one too. Tom Brady's a good one too. Tom Brady's a good one too.
I agree with the LeBron statement because we ain't talking about what we talking about before the game. But I set all that shit aside. When we talking about just this here, I agree. LeBron is a definitely perfect example. Because sometimes you can say what you say, but he's still performing the way he's performing at this age and all that. I agree with that. You know what I mean? Because we talking on this level. We ain't talking on the other level. So I agree with that 100%. And like carrying all them. But it's a lot of people, like he said, it's a lot of people that and with boxing,
Ben Simmons will be the other side. Zion Williamson will be the other side. About guys that don't, they just want the money. And
comparing boxing and basketball, terrible, bro.
Man, stop it.
Terrible.
No, we're not comparing.
Stop it.
I don't even watch.
Them dudes don't even practice. Them dudes
don't practice.
They don't practice, dog.
Hey, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy though?
Some of the boxers don't train.
But you know what's crazy though? I knew Ryan was gonna come in swinging, bro.
Full-time boxers.
I knew Ryan was gonna come in swinging, man.
They don't want to do it. You got a whole bunch of part-time boxers.
Allen Iverson here with the practice.
Check this, Rolly.
They only want to fight twice a year. That's 6 months of training. That's all that is.
That's true.
Check this, Rolly. Left hook.
Check that Rolly left hook.
Ryan, who your boy Nick Ball gonna dug next? Espinosa or Inoue?
Take out Inoue. You know that, man. You guys saw him on his pockets last night.
Yeah, he was on
Nick
his
Ball
pockets,
gonna do them when he hit him.
What about Espinosa, bro? They both fought.
Espinosa, I didn't hear Espinosa call out Nick Ball. I heard him call out other dudes. He know what it is too.
Said all the champions, everybody. He wants to smoke.
Man, come get it. UK.
Man, you gonna get Nick Ball killed, man. Stop it, man.
Anyway, come to the UK, dog.
You about to get Nick Ball killed, man.
I appreciate you sticking up for your dude, Ryan.
Facts.
I do, but come on,
I
bro.
do like
he can't mess with Inoue or Divo.
Man, Inoue gonna run right into something. You saw him run into something last night. He don't move his head.
Nope.
That dude don't move his head.
And he punches wide.
And Nick
but you know
Ball,
what's one thing that Cardenas didn't do? You know what one thing Cardenas do that don't do that Nick Ball don't do? Tag up that body. They don't hit that. They don't hit that body, man.
Seen Inoue get pressured.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Man, stop it, man.
I ain't never seen him.
Stop it, bro. Stop
He
it,
gonna
bro.
get bullied, man.
Stop
He gonna
it,
get
bro.
I
Okay,
love Dr.
that's what I'm. That's the part exactly. What that's the part that worries me. Right, what Ryan just said. He gonna get bullied and suplex. That might be true.
He'll get bullied.
That might be true, man. Anyway, gonna beat the hell out
Will
of.
gonna get broken in that ring.
Yeah,
Y'all gonna
right.
see it.
Anyway, gonna beat the hell out of Nick Ball, bro. Stop it, bro.
DDT, suplex.
Hey, I respect the fact that you're sticking up for your dude. Trust me. I do. Even if I disagree, bro, you're
Nah,
right.
man, these fighters are part-time fighters, yo. They just want to fight twice a year, make the biggest money. It's disgusting, man. And then, like, not
I
all
don't
of them.
mind them
Even
fighting
Crawford.
twice a year, bro. Like, all
Crawford
the
don't fight that
superstars
much.
fight
But
twice a
Crawford in
year.
the gym, bro. He in
That's
the
true.
gym.
I agree with Ryan. I agree with
He
that part.
always in the gym.
I agree with that.
And like, that's the difference between him and some of the other guys.
I agree with that.
Oh yeah.
But
These
he's
guys
the one
on
that
a
gets
vacation.
flagged,
Yo,
bro.
look at Frank Martin. Frank Martin still ain't come back, bro.
Yeah, we ain't see Frank Martin. Last time I seen him, he was in the strip club.
Oh,
Frank Mama's on vacation last time I seen him.
You feel me?
Tank money, bro.
I hope he
Got
comes
that
back
tank
strong
money,
though.
bro.
Yeah, he got that tank money, but
That's another
I hope he
example,
comes
bro.
back.
Ryan, what we were talking about with Oster here. That's another
Yeah.
example. He got them now in Frank Martin's case. I don't excuse it because you're far from being done with your career. You know,
Right.
like I'm like
I don't excuse it in nobody case. Because if you get in that ring, there's no excuses. So if you want to act
Oh,
like you
that's
want to go to strip club, if you want to go to the strip club, ask Mike Tyson. He'll tell you. If you want to go to the strip club before the fight, and you want to go party and all that, and come in here while this other dude is in the gym, this
Yep.
cab driver, you know what I mean? If you think it's a game,
He's
go
gonna
ahead.
catch up
That's
to you.
like you just said, Oscar. Maybe said that sometimes it's the one that got. You know what I mean? You Mike Tyson, you over here in the gym, and Buster Douglas, hey yo Doc, and Buster Douglas' mom just died.
Come
He
on
like,
now.
man, you going crazy.
Come
Yeah,
on now.
that don't mix. That don't
Right.
mix.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, you want to see coochies? You gotta go
Hey,
Fucci.
you playing games out here? You playing games out here?
That's a
All right.
fact though.
No
Yeah,
problem.
Buster Douglas was fighting for something else. That matters. I do
Yeah,
agree
he was
with
fighting
that.
for a whole different reason.
Mm-hmm.
He said if he
Ryan,
wasn't,
Not
he
only
said
that,
if he
his
wasn't,
mama passed away.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Go
What
ahead,
you
I'm
say,
sorry.
So
Osa?
he felt if he wasn't partying, he still had a certain kind of attitude coming in here with. He didn't
Yep.
give a fuck what you was going through.
Yep. Yep.
He had a whole agenda coming in his
That
joint.
means something, man.
Ryan, talk to me.
Yeah.
What happened to your boy Ryan? No PEDs. Getting
Bro,
drunk.
Ryan fucked my whole weekend up, bro.
I bet Ryan
He
Rozicki you
messing
talking
with
about?
this dude, bro. That's what I get, yo.
Oh,
Thinking
Ryan
he
Ryan
a
Garcia. My
pimp.
fault. You said no
Ryan
PEDs.
He
my
should
bad.
have cut all bets off when he came with the Batman car.
Come on,
If he
bro.
came with a Joker car, I would have bet on him. But he
Right.
came with the Batman car. You losing. You losing.
They literally blamed the car, the hotel,
Come
the
on, man.
ride,
Come on,
the
man.
inactivity.
The environment.
And
I'm
Yeah,
surprised they didn't
that's
blame their
right.
mama.
I'm telling
That's
you.
right.
snap, man. Rolly fought
That's
good.
Shout out
Rolly
to
actually
Rolly,
fought
man.
good.
Shout out to Rolly.
I try to tell you, Ryan. I try to tell you, but you don't want to listen, man.
Nah, I didn't. Still,
You don't
I
wanna
couldn't bet
listen.
on Rolly.
I
That's
told you
crazy.
Rolly in two.
I will say,
I put it in
I will say
text.
this
I
though,
put it in text.
in
Rolly in
Ryan's
two.
in Ryan's defense though, Ryan be going crazy. I'm talking about Ryan Frazier. Ryan Frazier be going crazy with the parlays, man. I'll check him out, man. Get you right. So I give you this. You know what I'm saying? We'll forgive you for this one. But nah, he go
Rolly
crazy.
fucking fucked it up.
Yeah, no, he be doing this thing, man.
You got dropped by left hook, bro.
Left hook.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
This is left hook
Solid.
weekend. Yeah. This is left hook weekend.
Wait, Cardenas was the left hook too, wasn't it?
This is left hook weekend. This
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
left
Yeah, it
hook
was.
weekend,
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
The only left hooks that didn't work was Canelo's.
Mm.
That.
Yeah, what's up?
How we say from New York to come down to the city with none of that bullshit. You better stay on your phone, kid. If you put that phone
Yeah.
down, we're gonna drop.
Yep. Yep. Get them earmuffs up. Put that phone, you know what I'm saying? Put that right by your ear. You ain't lying about that, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Stop it with that bullshit.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Do you
Yes.
think the atmosphere, that whole spectacle, the way they did, affected the fighters?
I mean, I don't think that's
talking like fighting
yeah,
outside
I
and all
don't
that.
think that's impossible,
Square,
but
right?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my point, right? I'll go back to the NBA. I know Ryan gonna get on my head top, but I'm gonna make another NBA comparison. It's like when they try to discredit the winners of the bubble. Oh, it wasn't the same, bitch. Everybody's in the same. You're all. It's not like certain teams were under certain circumstances. Other teams were under certain circumstances in different environments, different scenarios. Everybody's exposed to the same exact conditions. So I don't want to hear nothing about the environment. Yeah, it changes stuff. It might affect you, but it didn't only affect it didn't only affect Ryan. It didn't affect Jose Carlos Ramirez. It didn't only affect Teofimo and not affect Devin Haney. It didn't only affect Barbosa and not affect say Rolly Romero. It impacted everybody. So to me, I'm not saying that it didn't change your psyche, because I do think anything that against the routine or what you're accustomed to, it does change you a little bit. You know what I'm saying, for the better or for worse. But it's nothing to talk about because everybody went through it.
I agree.
So that's my response. Yeah, that's my response. But I do think, it's probably a legitimate reason as to why they didn't, perform the same. But it's not nothing to talk about. But here's what I'm saying.
I think you're right, Austin. But I think you're right. I think yes for all of them then, because if for example, I don't know, Devin and Jose Ramirez would have been this back and forth fight, and then the other two would have been this letdowns, then I would say no, because obviously you got this performance and that one, and like Doctor said, it's everyone's in the same boat here. But since all of them underperformed from slightly to, I don't know, you can scale them however you want to, but they all really underperformed. Then I would say yes, without a doubt, to all of them. But I'm not excusing them. Hang on a second. I'm not. That doesn't mean that it's warranted or that. I'm saying yes to say, that's not good enough for me. Not even close.
I agree 100% with them. I agree with both of y'all. I feel any environment, if you get in the ring, once you get punched in your face, you better be worried about who punched in your face. I mean, what's going on around me?
You feel me?
You better worry about who in front of you.
You feel me? Man, I want to blame the environment. You came in the Batmobile, man. Sit your ass down, man.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about? You came in the
Doctor, I need to secure a replacement.
Talk to him, Ryan. What'd you say again? Say Brian, Rolly beat on him. Facts. That's it.
Beat on him, bro.
Facts.
Doctor, I need to secure a replacement for tomorrow because I smell duck-itis.
Okay, yeah, we could get a standby. Anybody else want to pull up for the square up against Irony, just in case Kendrick isn't available, or in case Irony's not available? Anybody want to replace? Be a standby. I'll take that for sure.
Don't jump all at once.
I'm telling you. What'd you say, Ryan?
Hey, if I'm here, I'll jump in.
Hey, let's get it, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. 7 o'clock on the dot, like Usher. 7 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, Oscar, you didn't say nothing, Oscar. So I guess that's case closed. Right? That's case closed.
I'm just kidding. No, I can't. That's why I want to do it in the morning, because I really can't do it at night.
Oh, you want to do it in the morning? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
yeah, we talked about this the other day. I mean, I think you weren't here.
Okay. All right, but I mean, I could try to start doing it in the morning then. I already talking shit like he ever had to square up. This is out of my boy Kendrick, bro. Kendrick came out of nowhere, bro.
He said, "Who ducking?
Hey, me? I did have a square up with Ty, and I beat Ty, but I was robbed.
That's crazy.
But nevertheless, that's a different topic for the.
That's crazy, bro.
He was robbed.
He was robbed. He was robbed. Big North. He was robbed. Big North. That's what he says, man. Let him tell it. He was robbed, bro.
Sound like Ryan Garcia, bro.
You feel me? You feel me? I already sounded just like Ryan Garcia.
No, but I did have a square up, dog. You know this.
You did.
Kendrick is again. So Kendrick is lying. I'm sorry. I don't like to say lying. So Kendrick is capping.
He wasn't here. He missed it, eh?
I'm telling you. Yeah, you had to square up with Ty. You lost. Right?
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
My bad.
You didn't have to say it like that.
My bad. I'm sorry. I should say you lost. I should say lost. No. Not lost. You didn't win.
You lost.
No, I ain't mean it like that. Bro. Yeah, he pulled up. And he got points. Yeah, we get participation points for real. Not trophies. We get points.
Bro, Kendrick is saying the opposite. Can you clarify Kendrick? Because Kendrick is actually saying that is the opposite, that I never had it. Kendrick is
he had one.
Because
he had
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
His birthday and everything. He's probably drinking. I don't know.
Oh, it is his birthday. Yo, happy birthday, Kendrick. I forgot about that. It's a fact, man. Happy birthday again, bro. Shout out to Irony for
birthday, Kendrick.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, my boy. Yes, sir. Happy birthday. Now he did have.
I feel bad, bro. I feel bad because I'm gonna have to whoop his ass in his birthday. I'm starting to feel bad, bro. Like, You know, don't you want to postpone it, bro? Like,
Kendrick,
I
you
don't
gotta
know.
pull up now, bro.
Yeah, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you.
B2A on your birthday? Talk about
Bro,
birthday
I'm starting
licks.
to feel bad, bro. Honestly,
Mm.
you know what? Let me do it with Ryan or Oscar. I mean, Oscar said he can't do it on the evening, or Oster, whoever wanna pull up. But Hendrik, I don't know, man. I'm gonna feel bad cooking you on your birthday, bro. Don't feel
Chef
good.
Curry with the pot, boy. 360 with the wrist, boy.
Body shot and another one.
Hey, body shots and another one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word.
Yo, Oscar's hilarious, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, but who'd you what fight were you most looking forward to? What fight were you looking forward to the most, Ryan, this weekend? I think I know it pretty much everybody else, but who are you looking forward to? I mean, outside of the disappointments, like which one?
Honestly, I was telling people Tio was gonna have the best performance.
Yeah, he was right about that.
I just thought,
in my opinion.
I just thought.
He did. It's not saying much.
That's what he
but he
does.
did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Nah, he did, man. He made.
No, yeah, he did.
Sparring
Like,
partner in there.
It's not saying much because everybody else underperformed.
Yeah,
But, I mean, Inoue fight was good, but I
It
think
was
like
good.
Inoue, that's just how he fights. So
Yep.
it's always gonna be fan friendly.
Yeah.
Getting dropped? That's his game plan?
That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, it's not the first time, right?
Hey.
Ain't it like the third?
The third?
No, second.
Second, I think.
Indoneer drop him?
Oh.
No.
I thought Norito dropped him.
No, I already looked that up yesterday.
Yeah, I
he
don't
heard
think
him.
so.
He
He
didn't
heard
drop
him, but I don't think he dropped him. Yeah, so it's the second
Oh,
time. Neri
you
was
know,
the
he
first
broke his
one.
orbital bone.
Hey,
Out to Norito.
hey, and Nakatani gonna get the other one. He better stay away from
I ain't
Junto.
gonna hold you.
I don't know, man. Hey, yo, Arnie. He's like Felix Trinidad. He get knocked down. He get up and beat these dudes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Felix-
but
he's famous for that.
Tiny better put him out, or else he might be bedtime. for
he
him.
will.
Don't worry, but yeah, he will. Exactly, he will. Don't worry about that.
You better put him
Don't
out,
you worry
bro.
about that.
You better
Don't
do
worry
that.
about that.
Big Junto.
Hey, Big Junto out like I
Big
like.
Junto better go
like
get
I
that
like.
fight.
Man,
Oh my
stop playing,
God.
man.
Bam come.
Ryosuke Nishida? Oh, Bam. Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, man, shout out to them. We get 2 unifications, man. Bam versus Fumaleli and Junto versus Ryosuke, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man.
I got McCumbee in the 8th.
You got McCumbee beating Pacheco? Hey.
I switched like
hey
daily. Like I had to see the weigh-in, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, man. I think it's gonna be good though, for sure, regardless of who it goes, man. How it goes. Oh man.
I think Scull and Pacheco will be a good fight. I don't think it happens, but
I think that's a good fight.
Yo, Pacheco ducked my guy, man.
He did.
Really?
I don't want to say duck because I was like, man, that's
Yeah.
too harsh. But no, anybody who says it, I won't defend him. But it looks bad because it's the second time he pulled out. Second time.
Not only
of
is Ryan saying it, he's Canadian. Not only is he Canadian, that's his guy, bro.
Yeah. So I will
lined
not,
up, bro.
Yeah, I would not defend him on that. I don't think, like I said, I would maintain that I don't think he did because I don't know the exact reason, but I do know this is the second time. So anybody saying Pacheco ducked and Billy, you would not hear a fight from me. It looks crazy. It does. It looks bad.
It does. I don't even know what he's fighting for now. BA? WBA?
I have no clue.
Yo, they nasty at the WBA, man. They nasty.
I'm telling you.
How they gonna give boots 2 mandatory?
Right.
Fact.
What?
That's
You gotta fight Diaz up, and then now you gotta fight Rolly.
Yep.
Well, I don't think you gotta fight Rolly anymore because I think the plan was Ryan.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Oscar. I don't think they're gonna try to force that
Shout out to
consolidation.
Rolly, man.
Shout out to Rolly. Rollies.
Bro. What if Rolly fights Conor Ben and beats Conor Ben? He'd be the PV Avenger.
Facts.
Yo, they got Rolly saying he a 3-time champion, yo.
He a 3-time champion, man.
When he said that,
Don't
I was
hate on
like,
Rolly,
bruh,
bro. Come on, bro.
This is the world of boxing we living in now, where I can't even get mad at him because
Can't
there's so
get
many
mad at him,
stupid
bro.
belts.
Can't get mad at him, bro.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I agree with you on that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Let Rolly
It's
have
like
his
people
moment, man.
saying Pacquiao 8 division world champion. Bitch, he's 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm back, fella.
What's up, Aaron? You got to keep the same energy. If we're not, I mean, I call Pacquiao 8 division world champion. Some of them are regular interim belts, so I have no problem calling Rolly a 3 division.
2 of those were interim and regular.
I have no problem calling Rolly a 3 division, bro.
But Rolly, I keep it like Rolly. I call him
a 2 division world champ. I don't call him.
Yeah, exactly. You're consistent, right? That's my problem right there. If you call it Manny a 8 division, then you got to call Rolly a 3 division. But if you're calling Manny 6, then okay, call Rolly. That's cool. Call it Rolly 2. But there's the people that they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They'll call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division world champ, and then get mad if you call Rolly a 3-division champ.
Mm-hmm.
Or Tank or somebody like that. Say, oh, Tank was 140 as a regular against Barrios, which is cool. That's true. But then you can't turn around and say Manny's an 8. And I love Manny. I do call him 8-division, so try to keep it consistent, man. It just comes natural. But yeah, man, I think what's the next fight we looking forward to, fellas?
Lubin.
Yeah, Lubin. Yeah,
Lubin and Ardra Holmes.
You know,
Oh, that's his weekend.
It was the 10th.
Yeah, May 10th.
Hey.
So I got Lubin.
Navarrete's fighting too.
Yeah, Navarrete's fighting too. No, he's fighting. Is he?
He's against Charlie Suarez. That's this weekend too.
Probably, honestly. I can't remember.
I think Raymond Morlataya fighting for the eliminator. Is he?
Yeah, against Zaur Abduliev. That's his weekend too. Oh, we got some boxing this weekend.
That's another dude. They got to strip Lomachenko. What the hell is going on here, man?
Loma hurt his back, bro.
He got a medical exemption. Yeah, he got a medical exemption.
Swing, bro, and he hurt his back.
Yeah.
But isn't the medical exemption prevents him from getting stripped or whatever? Or
Yeah.
no?
He has until October.
And we're gonna wait all this time just for him to say,
"Oh, gonna wait him, and then
No, if he retires after all this time, I'll be like, bro, nah.
Right.
What if he fights Tank before Tank fights Roach? Because that fight not signed.
I'm telling you, bro. I would be mad, bro.
I wouldn't mind it.
I
actually think
I would mind.
I think that's what Tank should do because Loma ain't got that much time left. Roach
No, I disagree.
they gotta pay the mandatory.
Ain't gotta write that wrong first. Bro.
I agree. Because then, like to me, like you gotta understand, Roach is not a guy that's in heavy demand. So the longer this gets prolonged, the more people are prone to forget about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if a fight happens between that, I think they're just gonna be like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to fight him. I don't want that, man. I like Tank to get it back. Yeah, I feel it.
I don't mind it if he,
Yeah, I do. You got to get that back, man.
I just want to see Tank and Loma. I don't care if it's now or after
I feel
Roach
that.
2 or whatever the case may be.
I want to see that too. Tank and Loma.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Doctor, and all of you guys, what do you think about Anthony Cacace versus Lee Wood? I'm going for Lee Wood, bro.
I got Cacace. Yeah, I got Cacace. Yeah, so those you don't know, Cacace was the 130-pound division IBF champion, but he gave that up in order to pursue a more lucrative fight with Lee Wood. I can't remember who his mandatory was. I think it was Edward Sugar Nunez that he didn't want to fight.
Yeah,
he right. And I ain't gonna say he didn't want to fight. He'd rather pursue a bigger fight, but I also think that's part of it too. I think that he didn't really want to fight him.
Well, he vacated the belt at least, right?
Yeah, he vacated. Yeah. But
Okay, I don't see that as such a bad thing.
I don't think so
One
either.
thing if you held the belt hostage,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Right.
I think Roach should pursue the fight at 130. Honestly, he got a belt. He got to defend it. In my opinion.
You said sorry. Can you say again about Roach? What'd you say? Sorry.
I think he should go defend his belt
instead of the rematch.
I mean, if the rematch can happen, but I doubt it because they got to pay mandatory fees with Jake Paul. And I don't know.
I think it should happen, man. Like I
said, Jake Paul.
Yeah, I think he should.
It should definitely happen. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm just saying that my preference will be Loma now because Loma ain't got that much time left. But the rematch should happen. If he takes the rematch first, I'm happy with it, bro. Trust me, I got no problem with seeing.
I have to disagree with you on this one, Irony. I don't think people are calling for Roach because they see Tank vulnerable against Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We still don't know how Loma's gonna look against Tank, but we know what Roach is gonna look like against Tank. You know what I mean? I feel like people are calling more for the Roach rematch rather than the Loma fight. I agree. I'm one of those.
Honestly,
I want to see Loma.
I'm not mad at Irony though. Yeah, I'm not mad at Irony for wanting Loma because I think that fight will. I think people would overlook. Yeah, I think a unification. I think people will be cool with that. I do.
But not only that, you gotta realize one thing. Roach, there's this angle, right? Roach already lost. Loma has only been dropped once. So if Tank can get Loma stopped, can be the first dude that stopped Loma, bro, that can boost your resume the way a few other things can, honestly. The first dude to stop Loma, something Tio didn't do, Devin didn't do, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Pro Box and Top Rank would just turn around and start stabbing Loma in the back.
Oh yeah, he's vulnerable.
He was never great.
Right.
He was never great. He lost all his big fights.
Tank gonna put Loma to sleep though. Don't forget to smack that like button, y'all. Smack that like button for your boy. I appreciate it, man.
That's one thing that I hate about the boxing community, bro. They flip and flop like in 2 seconds, bro. They'll call a dude the best thing since sliced bread, and he gets touched. He was not that great. What the fuck are you saying to me, bro? Like, how do you flip and flop that easily? Like,
it's like your aunt that changes
it's
plans.
really easy. It's extremely easy. Tell you that it's extremely easy. This is what they do. That's what they do. They in and out. It's extremely easy. You just said it. You said when you on top and then you lose. Yeah, that's the way it is today. We the ones that's crazy that don't flip.
Facts. That's how it
Facts.
seems like.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we're not the norm no more. We're the
black sheep.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said if Ryan's a hero, then it might be a good thing to be the villain. There's nothing good about being a hero. If the PED drug cheat, it gets a hero's welcome. The liar and the mediocre fighter get treated like he's a hero and the headliner. Then it's a good thing to be the villain. I think the definitions have changed.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, people were saying Ryan was a better fighter than.
Come on, man.
Rolly.
Come on, man. Shout out to my guy Big Dog Willie in the building. Big member in the building.
Maybe wasn't a hero. He was the villain.
Fact.
But it's different though. So he was a villain because what? Because people said he was arrogant or this or that. He wasn't the villain because he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Ryan deserves to be the villain. Floyd wasn't the villain because he popped dirty for PEDs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
If you slap an old lady, you should be a villain. This man's a villain just because he was winning and talking shit while doing it. That ain't no villain stuff.
You know who else was a villain, dog? And because he's also one of my favorite fighters, and it's one of your favorite fighters.
Who that?
The Lion.
Hey.
Lewis.
Facts.
He was a villain?
Honestly, let me give you guys a good example.
He's a villain for different reasons.
For different reasons.
He's a villain for different reasons.
If I say that if I'm high on blood pressure, if I'm as high as
I love ladies, but man,
you're right, crazy, bro.
Listen.
Oh man,
don't worry, I told him that to his face too.
You told him that? What he said? What he say?
Oh hell, yeah. Lennox, if you just gave
Canada.
us Canadian people that chance, you would have been good. You would have been good.
He ain't no, bro. He was torn,
Let me tell
bro.
you guys this. Let me tell you guys something. Oster, are you there?
Oster,
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Never mind. Let me tell you guys something. If I'm as high as I am on Bud Crawford, right? Let me use this as an example. If I'm rooting for Bud Crawford against Canelo, for example, if Canelo goes out there and beats Crawford or stops him or whatever, I'm not just gonna go, oh well, you know what? Maybe he wasn't. No. On the contrary, I'll give Canelo his flowers.
Right.
I think
because if you really feel that strongly about a dude, then you should fucking hold your own, bro. I can't relate to that shit, bro. Like
my thing,
Henry. That's why I'm a Nick Ball fan, because he upset me twice.
Exactly.
My money twice.
Ray
Ray Vargas and Ray Ford.
Yep.
Question: are you a Rolly fan now?
Shoot, if you take my money again, then I gotta be, bro.
Trying to tell you, boy.
Rollies. Hey man, that's funny, bro.
But I respect that though, because that's the kind of fan I am with Crawford. I'm a Crawford fan because, like I told Doc before, I'm a inside the ring and outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So Crawford don't be outside the ring, wilding out. He shows me an example of a pure boxer. Mm-hmm. If you love the sport of boxing and you want to protect yourself and keep yourself straight, that's what he showed me.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other boxers, but Crawford is just the one that I like. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like McDonald's. Some motherfuckers like Burger King. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. He still be riding around, you know what I mean? So, and that's why I like.
If you have steak every day, every now and then you miss them beans, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah, it's cool though. You know what I mean? And he represent. I like his business technique. I like the struggle that he went through, because I followed him, so I know that he wasn't on no magical wand. That little magical which the little carpet shit in the air. He wasn't on no magical carpet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I watched the man work for his.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I respect that. I watched the man work for his. And
he went against the business. He went against his promoters. He fought through it all.
Yeah.
But it's a legend.
And he did all that with one goal. And he had a lot of goals in between, you know what I mean? But he wanted to fight Spanish. He did all that, and he did that. And that's why I say with Canelo, it win, lose, or draw with Canelo, it don't even matter. You know what I mean? Because it shouldn't matter to nobody else. Because I feel like this is one of those fights that I think that everybody want. Because you know you're not coming up no 2-3 weight classes and you're not going to be swinging. This ain't going to be one of those. You get what I'm saying? It just makes sense that this is going to be like a fight. Yeah, I don't know nobody that come up this. You play like say like Scull and Charlo. Those are all in the same weight class. So you get in there, you can play around. I don't think nobody coming up the way Crawford coming up with the attitude that he got and the whole demeanor ain't gonna come in there and be playing. So I'm gonna respect it from that point. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, I think it's
I know you're not coming here playing.
I think we said it here before, but it was like if Bud loses to Canelo, he gets the Roberto Duran text, bro. Roberto Duran is not great because he won all his big fights.
Right.
But because he was the man.
Whoa.
What?
Roberto Duran.
That's a fact, Ryan. Ryan, that's a fact, bro. What do you mean?
I ain't
He
gonna let
lost
y'all
all three of the four
Roberto
teams.
Duran, dog.
No, that's what I'm saying, though.
Bro.
Wait, Duran's my favorite fighter. Duran's my favorite fighter, though. But it's like,
yo, all right.
He lost to
Leonard, he lost to Hagler, he lost to Hearns, and he lost to Benitez.
Yeah. What's wrong with saying that?
That's what Oscar is saying. Despite all that, he's still a gold level fighter,
135-pounder ever, bro.
Yes, 135-pounder, but he went up and beat the guy. That's why we think Bud can do it, honestly. But like, Duran went up and beat the guy and lost to the other two guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
See how inconsistent you are, Ryan. You will say that about Mike Tyson, but when it comes to Roberto Duran, it doesn't apply, right?
That's
Mike Tyson had a 4-year window. This is different, dog. Don't ever disrespect Roberto Duran, dog.
Miss me with that one.
Wrong. I'm saying the truth. Those are facts. Those are facts,
bro. He got decapitated against Tommy Hearns, bro. Sorry.
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy, bro.
And
also, that
he lost to Kirkland Lang, bro. He lost to Kirkland Lang, bro. And that doesn't affect his legacy, not even a little bit, bro, because we know what's up. We got to point it out also, bro.
Man.
Yeah, but that's what makes him great, though. That's what I said the Roberto Duran text. He can go up, lose, or win. He's still going to be a great. Because he went up.
You telling me Mike Tyson had a better career than Roberto Duran?
Fuck no.
No, I'm telling you, it's the exact same thing when you go after Mike
Nah.
Tyson and say, which is not true, by the way. Listen, I know you hate Mike Tyson. I know you hate Mike Tyson.
Y'all make me do this every time. Like
y'all make me do this every time.
I gotta say this
like a hater, bro.
Like, how do you well, okay, you think it's overrated. Okay, you can say it.
I messed with Mike. It was a 4-year span, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Why? Because the old man
there was some longevity with Roberto Duran.
Like you say, 4 years as if nothing happened. Like circumstances matter, bro. Like he went to prison and the old man passed away, bro. What do you want? Like the old man that literally saved his life. He didn't have it.
Roberto Duran was out here partying and shit. He wasn't living the best life either. But he didn't even talk to that man. He was nasty with him.
Hey.
Yeah, his mama was a hoe too.
Damn, why you gotta talk about his mama?
You gotta point things out, bro. You gotta point things out, bro. Like I point all that. That doesn't mean that I dislike Duran, bro. I love Duran. He's fighting I could go on and on. But I gotta say this other thing. Like he got his ass whooped by my guy Benitez. He got decapitated by Tommy Hearns, beat by Leonard. He gave Marvin Hagler a hell of a fight. I wasn't expecting that, bro.
He went 15.
Like the fight that he gave Hagler, that surprised me.
Katie Slim said he put $20 on Rolly getting a knockdown from rounds 1 through 6. Got you 160. That's a nice little flip right there. That's a nice little flip right there.
Man, that's why I hate Oklahoma. You can't bet, bro, unless you go to a casino. I was trying to go to that casino.
Forget about Kendrick. I want Ryan.
Oh,
yeah, he mad at him, Mike Tyson. All right, Mike Tyson gonna get you knocked out soon.
I love it.
I am, but they say Mike Tyson is the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Who said that?
Yeah, I said that.
Nah, man, y'all sleeping. Lennox Lewis.
Talk to him, Ryan.
He did.
There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Lennox the Lion.
The Lion.
Greatest win was past his prime over the Hill Hall of Famers. That's his two best wins. He's 1-1 against Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall.
Wrote all his wrongs, bro.
Last
He
time
wrote
I
One
his
on
checked,
one,
wrongs.
Lennox
buddy.
beat
One on
every
one. He's one on
single
one
guy
against them,
that he
buddy.
got in the ring
Mike
with.
didn't right his wrongs. That's the problem.
Yep.
He's one
Mm.
on
Let
one against
dudes
them,
beat him
buddy.
and
He's
run
one on
off.
one against them at the end of the day. You're one on one against them
Lennox
at
was
the
like,
end of the day,
nah,
buddy.
y'all got to come back. We got to run it back.
Talk to him.
The Lennox
Spin the block instantly.
Yeah, but no
Douglas.
trilogy though. No trilogy though. No trilogy. Interesting.
They probably
You gotta
didn't
run
want
it
it.
back,
I wouldn't
but
want
you
it
know,
either, bro.
You feel
The
me?
They didn't
line
want
came
it,
back
bro.
and beat me like that.
You
he
feel
got
me?
knocked the fuck out by Hasim Rahman, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, and then what
Hey,
happened?
Kendrick, I
Then
caught
what
that.
happened? Then what happened? That three-piece
Put him
combo.
to sleep,
Chop,
bro.
chop, chop.
They
Mike
robbed
didn't
Vitaly.
even
They
get
robbed
Buster
Vitaly
Douglas
Klitschko
back.
also. They robbed Vitaly Klitschko also. They robbed
Oh,
him.
hell, bro.
Hell, nah,
You
now
said they
wild.
robbed Vitali? Okay,
Hell
come on,
yeah.
come on,
Hell
bro.
yeah. They robbed
Come
Vitaly.
on, bro.
I said it.
Dog, come on, man. You gotta put some order on this, bro. They robbed Vitaly?
Come on,
What?
bro. Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
they robbed Vitaly.
Shout out to
Yeah, they
Vitali
That's not
Klitschko,
Mike
but they
Tyson
robbed him.
bias, yo.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
They robbed.
bro.
Hell
What? If they robbed
Lennox
Vitaly,
Lewis
I ain't
is one
messing
of the
with you.
most overrated fighters in boxing history, bro.
Wow.
Easily.
Yeah, he's
Easily.
trolling. Yeah, he's trolling. He's trolling.
Yo,
No, I'm not
how
trolling.
long has Usyk been at heavyweight?
Talk to him.
Oh.
Talk to him.
Oh,
Has his
Oh.
heavyweight run been better?
no, but who
If it's
said
4
that?
years,
I don't know.
you better hope it's not 4
Was
years,
it, I think like 4 or 5. I
But
think
who
so. He
said
hasn't been that
that, bro?
long.
You
You're
better hope
making
it's
a
not
point that
4
I
years.
didn't
Bro,
make.
it's 4 years. He
4
started in
years.
2020.
Mm.
You
It's
know
4
what?
years versus Mike
Tyson
Tyson.
Fury,
4
the
years.
greatest heavyweight of all
I
time.
agree with that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Tyson
no,
Fury?
man. That looked a little suspicious.
Yeah,
I already ain't
got
gonna
Yeah,
lie.
Usyk
Tyson
beat
Fury, who
twice.
lost to nobody before he met him, you know, the guy that lost to nobody before, because AJ lost to Ruiz. I got you there. But Tyson Fury lost to no one before he met Usyk.
Yeah,
If Usyk doesn't exist, Tyson Fury is still undefeated, bro.
Yeah,
You
but
put
he
it to you
doesn't.
that way.
Nah, you right, but that's because he retired when he was about to lose. He want to take that
Oh, and he
rematch
wasn't
with
past his prime.
Klitschko.
Tyson Fury wasn't past his prime when Usyk fought him either. You know what I'm saying?
Klitschko took him and made him retire, bro. He was like, "Yo, I ain't gonna give you that rematch. I'm gonna retire." And then say I'm
She
depressed.
saw that would
How
have
you
Hey,
do
yo, he
when
said
you
it's
on the
depressed.
outs,
It's
dancing
crazy.
and celebrating.
Y'all
But
crazy.
your boy got knocked down by Hasim Rahman, bro. Knocked the fuck out cold. Like Emmanuel Stewart had to like grab him, like, bro, don't get killed here, please.
But he
And
beat
what happened,
everybody
man?
he shared the ring with, man. Come on, man.
But then what happened?
Man,
Then what happened?
Usyk retired
Forget
Tyson
about
Fury.
Dan.
man.
Forget about Dan, bro. I'm talking about the first fight. Forget about Dan. They still, at the
He
end of the
forget
day, it's
about
one
that.
on one
I'm talking about the first fight
At the-
only. Yo, shout
At
out to
the
my
end of the
guy,
day, it's
man.
1-on-1 against buddy. However you slice it, he's 1-on-1 against him.
That's crazy.
Did he lost to Buster Douglas?
I mean, at least he won though.
Who?
The
Yeah, he-
Lennox Lewis lost to Buster Douglas.
Mike Tyson?
No, he said Buster Douglas.
Yeah, but he's referring to Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah, he's referring to Mike Tyson, yes.
No,
Yeah, he
Lennox
lost
Lewis.
to Buster Douglas.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
the
Lennox.
Lennox
No,
Lewis lost to Buster Douglas. No,
No, he didn't lose, but the guy that beat Buster Douglas was Evander Holyfield. It wasn't Lennox Lewis, buddy. Hang on a second here. No. And when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, the guy that took that title from him wasn't Lennox Lewis, was Evander Holyfield. Let's pump the brakes here.
and did Lennox beat him?
Yeah, who beat?
Yeah.
Who beat Holyfield?
I like how you set him up right there, Oscar. Ooh wee. Irony, you got to fight back. Irony, you got to fight back, man.
Past his prime and over the hill.
Oh,
like
he's
most
past
of
his
his
prime.
opponents.
Okay, Joe
Oh
Calzaghe.
man.
Okay, Joe Calzaghe. Okay, Joe Calzaghe.
If you want to go there, you're gonna lose
Everybody
bad,
over there.
like, every time you get your ass whooped against me. Joe Calzaghe. I don't think you're gonna go there. I don't think you
Okay,
want to
Joe
go there.
Calzaghe. Oh my gosh, man. But fellas, I'm about to go ahead and call him. I'm gonna give me some food, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man.
I can't wait to get to Ryan.
Give me give me something, Ryan, before we close out, man. Give me a closing statement, bro.
We out of here, yo.
That's it. That's your closing statement. We out of here.
We out of here, bro. We out of
Yeah,
here.
I love you guys. Hey,
Go ahead,
in all
Aaron.
seriousness, I fucking love you guys.
Hey,
I
man, you
fucking
know it's
you
love,
guys.
man. It's all love,
Guys.
man. I appreciate you, bro. Likewise,
Hey,
man.
Aaron,
Bless
But-
you all.
Talk to me, Oscar.
With all of that, Ryan, I'm not kidding. You're gonna.
Irony,
have to
man.
see
Give me a closing statement, bro. I ain't say prolong the
You know what that
conversation,
means.
man. I said give me a closing statement. I'm about to talk to you, bro. This man trying to start a whole other conversation, man. Give me a closing statement so I can slide, bro. I'm hungry.
Hey, y'all, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Dr. Boxing Top.
Shout out to my guy, Ryan.
We out of here, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Deal with Iron later, yo.
Yes, sir. I'm out. Y'all can chill. I'm out.
God bless every single
God
one.
bless y'all, man. Oster, talk to me.
Crawford in 7.
Yes. Oscar, talk to me. Oscar out. All right, Phil.
We got you want a closing statement?
Yes, sir.
Lennox Lewis, the greatest heavyweight of all time.
That's what I'm talking about.
You get your healing spurt, your panties wet.
Hey,
Greatest.
hey, and we out. I love that right there, man. Shout out to everybody pulling up, man. I'm about to go ahead and slide, get me some food. I really do appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the panel. Who was in the panel, man? We have my brother, King Oscar, my brother, King Oster, my brother, King Irony, my brother, King Ryan, Big North, you know what I'm saying? Big North. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. You know what I'm saying? The big panel, man. I'm about to go ahead and slide, man. Appreciate y'all rock with me as always. I will be back on for the late show. We got some things to talk about. I think I'm gonna drop a video too, because I might have something to I think I saw something I wanted to talk about too in the video. But you know we're gonna be back for the late show, man. I appreciate y'all rocking. Had some great discussion today on the pretty decent fight card, man. He said in the back. Oh, I didn't even see you, Thomas. I do see you now. My bad, bro. You know, like I said, I don't be seeing it all the time. He said this is the second time around where I ain't getting no access. What a brother got to do to get some respect around here. Live Dangerfield. You got to pull up earlier, bro. I did not see you. How long you been in the back? You said for a minute? My bad, man. I'd have pulled you. I did not see you, bro. Let me know if every time you pull up. Let me know in the chat, bro. Sometimes I don't see it. Like I said, I don't have the screen up, man. If I don't have the screen up, I will not see it because my notifications I set it to where my notifications are off, so I don't hear the constant ding ding when people join and stuff like that when I'm streaming, so it's not distracting, man. So, man, I apologize for that, man. You know, we're gonna pull up for the late show, but yeah, I'll be back on for the late show, like I said, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to all the members, man. Consider becoming a member if you have not done so already, man. Starting at $3 per month, man. You know what I'm saying? That's light work for you ballers out there. You know what I'm saying? It helps us keep going and growing. But at the end of the day, smack that like button, man. You know, that's free. That's free support, man. Smack that like button. Really helps the YouTube algorithm to push our content out. You know what I'm saying? We getting to hustle off the muscle, getting it out the mud. So we ain't riding nobody's coattails. We ain't trying to be seen on anybody else's platform, trying to fake it, you know. We do authentic, genuine work, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar with the $2. Shout out to my guy Candy Slim 501 with the $5. Oh shoot, shout out to Oscar. I didn't even see this super chat, bro. That's how you know we growing. Hey man, I'm missing super chats. It's crazy. It's not like me. My bad, Oscar. Shout out to my boy Oscar dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes, sir, man. He said he was in the Discord. See, Oscar dropped a super chat telling me he was in the Discord because I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? That was his last super chat. So telling me he was in the Discord. I did not see that he was in the Discord either. So it's not just against you, Thomas. You know, I really just don't be seeing people, man. Because I don't have the screen up. Sometimes I might be reading an article or I might be watching some sports highlights or something. You know what I'm saying? So multitask right around here. But yeah, man, y'all be easy, man. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. I'll catch you on the late show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.